steak, right? A little
okay.
diamond, little steak, whatever, you know.
We're back.
I'll sucker punch him. You go after his feet. I don't know that we'd still win. He's jacked like a tree. I tell you every day, look at the muscles on Vance Joseph out there. That's always interesting to see. So, like I said, we're not here tomorrow. Kevin's eyes will be here for us, and we'll be telling you everything he's seeing on the show. And then back out here next Monday, getting ready for what will be the only preseason game coming at home next Friday. All preseason games are on Friday, and it'll be Minnesota for week number 2.
Kyler Murray is the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, which brings me back to when Sean Payton fooled the Minnesota Vikings into drafting J.J. McCarthy.
How about that?
That happened.
And now 3 years later, he can't even beat Kyler Murray
And the
out.
thing is J.J. would be different if he was here. Wouldn't be as good as Bo. I did not have a first-round grade on J.J. McCarthy. I had
like
a second-round grade on him.
Bust?
He would be a better player with he never fit Kevin O'Connell. This has nothing to do with Kevin O'Connell. O'Connell has a style. By the way, it's not Kyler Murray either. And he just does not fit. The dirty secret in the NFL is what? Fit. Sean Payton and Bo Nix fit. Sean Payton would have fit with J.J. McCarthy. Not as good as Bo, but they probably wouldn't be writing him off. I mean, the kid's a write-off now. It's just you don't need to worry about it. Like Jahdae Barron, like, I don't know. J.J. McCarthy, yeah, we already know.
Yeah, not going to work out there for the Vikings. All right, we'll get out of the way. It's time to hand off to the drive. Zach By, Phillip Lindsay, they take over right now.
All right, thank you very much, Josh Dover and Cecil Lammy, anchoring our training camp coverage live from the field every single day, and we are now back in the studio. Another day of training camp in the books, and, I feel like it's starting to, and I was talking with a couple, fellow media members out there, it's starting to be Groundhog's Day here. It's starting to be Groundhog's Day where all days are kind of feeling the same. You're seeing the same people. There's less pleasantries, seeing each other, passing each other. It's just like, oh, Tim again, and so
it's Jake from State Farm.
and so, yeah, the days keep stacking up. We inch closer and closer to preseason game number 1. How you doing, Phil?
I'm great, ZB. I'm great. 1, I get to do this job with you. 2, we're out there together. We're going through this time together, and somebody out there may be thinking, hey, man, you guys are doing Sports Talk Radio. You shouldn't complain. We're not complaining.
Never.
I love doing
Yep.
what we're doing. And, yeah, the days stack together, but it's about the details. It's about going out there and bringing in some more information, some new information, whether it's a star player, an emerging star player like Pat Bryant, or if it's a guy that's trying to make this football team that's going to get a lot of playing time, a lot of reps this Friday in the preseason game against the Falcons. So, we're out there to bring and shed light on these players, on the star players, the second string, the boobies, backups. And I love doing that with you, ZB, and we're going to do it again today, baby.
We are, man. We are. We absolutely lean into this time of year. It is, comparatively speaking, a short window of time.
Yeah.
So, we're all in here. We have a bunch of takeaways from practice, but we had a little treat today. A little treat. The owner of the Denver Broncos spoke to a collection of media members in a way that, honestly, this time yesterday we did not know was going to happen. It was not announced in wholesale fashion. Oftentimes, if you're on the Broncos media email list, like an email blast will go out, hey, Greg Penner's going to have, introductory press conference tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the atrium, blah, 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 blah. It wasn't really like that. Why? I'm not really sure. But we did get to hear from ownership today in a way that we thought we could maybe 3 weeks ago at the start of this. But we did hear from Greg today.
ZB, I thought what was interesting about deciding to do the meeting or the meeting with Greg Penner was it was during practice. It was during a team period or inside drill.
That's right.
So that was interesting, too, where it's like, hey, if you're a media member, what are you doing? Are you going to listen and talk to Greg, or are you going to stay out at practice and watch the practice? So I think that was intentional by them to say, okay, you're in a bind here. What do you want? What's more important right now? Thankfully for us, Z, we got 3 guys out there, DG, ZB, and Uncle Phil. So we're able to divide and conquer. But, man, it is fascinating that Greg decided to talk. And it seemed like he was honest about a lot of stuff going on and what he really wants done. And hopefully it does get done, Z. And think about what I just said. Hopefully it does get done. And we do have a stadium right there in Burnham Yard in the heart of Denver. But there's a lot of obstacles that Greg and the ownership group are still going to have to go through, man.
Yeah, and we'll go through what was said out there by Greg, and had a chance to ask him a couple questions. And Kevin Kistner was thoughtful enough to record the session there, so we have the audio. But it was interesting that we didn't hear Greg talk 2.5 weeks ago when we started this thing. And Sean had his introductory press conference, and we did not hear from George Payton.
No.
Right? But we speculated, hey, could we hear from Greg Penner? And what would you want to hear from Greg? And we didn't. But what was going on 2 weeks ago in a more fervent fashion than it is right now?
Everybody had their eyes on Jonathan Cooper.
That was the number one story with the Denver Broncos, right? And he was on the front cover of ESPN twice in a week, and all the questions that were surrounding that. And there still are some questions. Less for me after we got the after our show got a hold of the affidavits and we went through it. Was that last Friday or was that 2 Fridays ago?
No,
I think that was two Fridays ago.
Yeah, 2 Fridays ago. We were at Saddle Rock.
Yes, yeah. And once I got a hold of those documents and consulted with a lawyer, and I've just come to the conclusion I think this thing is going away. And if they do go to court, it's not going to be anytime soon. And I think Harvey Steinberg is going to shred that thing. I don't think it's going to come to that. But it's less of a question for me. But I think it was purposeful and calculated maybe that you were not going to do your beginning of the season press conference while that was going on. From a PR standpoint, probably smart. But also, we had something else happen yesterday that may have cleared the way for today's press conference as well, and that's SRM Concrete selling their the largest parcel of land within Burnham Yard that hadn't sold yet. That did get sold yesterday, and we did find out this morning that it sold for right around $55 million, Phil.
ZB, it sounds like they are going in the right direction if Greg Penner's willing to sit here and talk. You're right. He didn't talk at the beginning of camp. There's reason to that. Jonathan Cooper, obviously things weren't going well with the Burnham Yard site, and Damani Leach came out and said that.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden today, ZB, you get a secret text, and Greg Penner wants to talk to a couple of media members about what's going on. He was willing to talk about it and kind of open up about how he feels and what he's hoping for. It's very intentional in the reason why he's did it today and during practice. So it's fascinating and great, for us. I'm grateful that everybody was there for us to be able to document all that. And now we get to talk about it and see exactly what is getting ready to happen with this new stadium, if it's going to be in Burnham Yard.
Yeah, and you'll hear from Greg Penner here shortly. How about this? It was Jake Shapiro who had this? Okay, so our guy Jake Shapiro reported that SRM Concrete bought that plot of land 5 years ago. Guess how much money?
I don't even – too much money. I can't even think now.
Dude, they bought that plot of land for $5.5 million. And yesterday sold it for $55 million.
Come on.
I'm not very good at math, but that is 10x. That is 10x return on their investment in a 5-year window. This isn't Jerry Jones buying the Dallas Cowboys decades ago, and then this was 5 years ago. So this is 2021. SRM Concrete, based out of Nashville, bought that parcel of land in Burnham Yard.
They lucked out.
And then sold it yesterday for $55 million. That is a return on your investment right there.
What nobody knows is I have a plot of land right there too, Z.
Dude, well, you better dig your heels in.
$50 million.
And look,
cash.
I'm sure part of the why this took so long is because SRM Concrete, to a certain degree, I don't want to get over my skis here, but to a certain degree, SRM Concrete kind of had them by the short hairs. That look, we don't care what we bought it. We don't care what this would go. You want this plot of land. Our parcel is pretty large, and we're not just going to bend over and sell it to you for 2 times return on our investment. This is a nice location for our concrete company, and they're a national concrete company.
Everybody wants a concrete right here,
and so it's one of these things where this is probably why it took so long. That
$55 million.
$55 million, and again, this is a $1 billion company. SRM Concrete.
Yeah.
And we talked about that and took a dive on them a couple months ago. But yeah, that is some return on your investment. Buying something for $5.5 million 5 years ago and selling it for $55 million.
If you're Greg Penner and you cough up $55 million for that part, you're going to build it here no matter what. You're going to build it here no matter what. $55 million?
Brother, I still think it's the most likely scenario, but there's a reason why it's still the preferred site. All right? $55 million, yes, that's a lot of money.
A lot.
But if you're this ownership group, I don't think you are or not going to do something big picture, long term, a decades long proposition in a stadium and a district and all that comes with that. You're not going to let $55 million stand in the way because they're going to build and develop regardless where they put the stadium. Burnham Yard is going to the Denver Broncos, whether they put a stadium there or they put condominiums there. Like, that's their land now.
I need somebody to run my foot over when I get to the Burnham Yard preferred site. Hey, I'm suing for $100 million cash.
Dude, no joke. No joke. My first month selling cars, okay? I'm working at a Lexus dealership, all right? And I am trying to get the VIN. And I don't like the VIN oftentimes is bottom left, you know? And I'm leaning up against the window and I'm jotting it down and the service guy, I'm in the service department, does not realize what's going on, and my right foot was underneath the tire and that man ran over my toes. Pressure unlike anything you could ever feel.
Oh, I can't imagine.
And I can't believe my toes didn't break. But they did not. They did not.
So
okay.
no money came your way, huh?
No money came my way. I didn't even go home. They offered me to go home for the day, and I was new, and I'm like, no, I'm going to grind it out. I'm going to grind it out.
I love this.
I'm going to be here.
I'll die for this right here.
Okay, we'll get back to the Greg Penner Stadium, PSL, all those big conversations, but first we were out at practice. What was our biggest takeaway? We'll get to it next.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery and Monarch Construction and Roofing. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
You know that feeling, sitting at the kitchen table, staring at a stack of bills, wondering how you got here? Credit cards, car payments, subscriptions you forgot about. It all piles up. But here's the thing. If you own a home, you're sitting on the answer. American Financing can help you declutter your monthly bills into a single manageable payment. Their salary-based mortgage consultants look at your entire financial picture, not just one piece, all right? The average customer savings is $800 a month. You may delay 2 mortgage payments and may close in as fast as 10 days. Guys, there is never any upfront fees or obligation with American Financing. This is a family-owned lender, not one of those big banks where you're just a number. So pick up the phone and start that conversation at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or simply visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Hi, I'm Donnie, owner of Fitness Gallery, where we believe there's nothing more important than your health. We've just celebrated our 27th year in business. Thank you for your continued support.
Hey, Broncos country, I'm Terrell Davis. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. Work out on your schedule from the privacy of your own home.
At Fitness Gallery, we have the nation's lowest prices on the highest quality products that stand the test of time.
Imagine this. No more wasting time in traffic, no more crowded gyms.
Summer weather can be full of surprises. If your home has been affected by the recent storms, trust a local professional roofer with decades of combined experience. Golden Spike Roofing is here for all your repair or roof replacement needs. Call today for a free inspection and estimate for roofing done right down to the last nail.
Call Golden Spike Roofing when your roof needs a fix. 303-942-1386. Golden Spike Roofing.
Hey, Rob Biandino here at BeatTheDA.com. I've handled about 7,000 cases, over 300 trials. Man, I see so many bad stops on these DUIs, unlawful arrests, the police putting body cams off. The evidence is sketchy. We got to go get the evidence. We go find those cameras, the stores, the ATMs, the banks. We got the experts to challenge their breath tests, their blood tests. My office has over 100 years experience at this stuff. Hit me up at BeatTheDA.com or 720-706-5151.
Hey, Colorado, set the summer trend. Get a 30% point of sale discount on all new electric lawnmowers, trimmers, and leaf blowers statewide. Ditch the gas for powerful battery packs and breathe easier. Quieter equipment also means you can hear your go-to radio show while you mow. But don't wait. This hot deal only lasts through the end of the year. Learn more at simplestepsbetterair.org. Again, that's simplestepsbetterair.org.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Off and rolling. Here on a Tuesday, August 11th, as we are fresh off Denver Broncos training camp practice. I forgot the count of what day it is as the days are starting to blend together and walking you up to preseason game number 1, but still reacting to training camp practices. What up, Phil?
Woo! What's going on, ZB? That you're right, man. The days are stacking up. I don't even know. You already know I don't know how to tell time. I don't know how to read. And now I don't know how to count when it comes to how many days we've been out there, but it's been fun. It's been a blast. There's been a bunch of guys competing. And at some point here, all right, in a couple of days, not even a couple of days, what is it? About what? 20?
Well, to Friday kickoff?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's Tuesday, so 24, 48, we're about 72 hours from kickoff.
72 hours until they kick the ball off for a preseason game for the Denver Broncos, man. I don't know if the starters are going to be out there, but there's going to be some football being played. Okay, there's going to be 2 quarterbacks fighting for a backup job, hopefully, and there's a bunch of fringe players that are trying to make this roster. And if they're not making this roster, there's 31 other teams out there that are looking for ballers. And so these are going to count. So somebody out there may be saying, I don't really care about preseason. Why? This is the time where you can just sit back, enjoy, watch some guys you don't know about.
That's right.
Learn about them, and just watch a football game for what it is. All right, when the season starts, we're all on board, in.
Stressed,
right now,
stressed out, on edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
But right now, have fun, enjoy it, learn a couple of these guys' names, and maybe you're a new fan of a new guy that's out there that you never knew about.
Yeah, and it happens every year. That someone just kind of pops,
yeah.
And we're starting to see a couple young guys showing and displaying their talents, and we'll see if it shows up in the preseason games. Yeah, I'm very, very intrigued by what's going to happen on Friday evening. I cannot wait. Now, I will say, we're going to be on the air. We're going to be on the air for a little bit, not too long. So that's going to be a really unique sort of setup as we're sort of not doing play-by-play, but kind of reacting to some of the larger themes that's happening within the game. It's almost like a watch-along, if you will. So, but practice today. What was your biggest takeaway, you think?
Biggest takeaway is the injuries still they still are stacking up, right? They're stacking up in positions that you need them to stay healthy.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is the center position. All right, we had another guy go down. The third-string center went down. All right, Luke Wattenberg, although he is looking like he's coming back here soon, he's been working out with his pads on. He has that brace on his arm, indicating that he had an elbow injury, but he's been doing a lot more physical work. So at some point, he is going to be back. All right, Forsythe has been banged up, and he's been out there, but really hasn't been doing anything. And now you have another young man that goes down, and you start to look at the depth chart, and it's like, okay, who's the starting center going to be if the Denver Broncos decide to put their starters out there? You're going out there with a fourth-string center or a guy who's doing some filling work like Quinn Miners, and it's like, do you really want to be out there, Z?
I could not believe that. So we're watching, and I'm like, who's playing center? And I said, wait, that's 77. And I'm like, let me just double check. Who 77? That's the Denver Broncos All-Pro guard snapping the football to Bo Nix. Once again, I'm just going to repeat myself from yesterday. Not ideal. Not ideal. Not the end of the world for where we're at right now, but not ideal. You mentioned Wattenberg, Forsythe dealing with something. And then Michael Dieter, who is the third-string center, all right, out of Wisconsin, a former third-round pick back in 2019.
My former teammate.
Your former teammate for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, and he was young when I was there, really, really good. Physical, aggressive. They loved him there. He just didn't stick. At some point, if you're not consistent enough, you're not going to stick around as a third-round draft pick.
Yeah, this is a top 80 pick once upon a time.
Exactly. So he's been a journeyman, and now he thought he found a home here in Denver, but all of a sudden this happens. It's during an inside drill, inside period. It was Malcolm Roach, and Malcolm Roach came bullying in, pushed him over, and I think he fell over somebody or ran into Jonah Coleman, it looked like, and never got back up. Michael Dieter we're talking about. He never got back up. They ended up having to bring the cart out.
Not good.
A bunch of trainers were around there. They had to assist him to the cart. And, the rest is history right there. We don't know what's wrong with the man, but he couldn't put pressure on one of his legs, which indicates an ankle. Maybe he broke something, maybe tore Achilles, something when they bring the cart out there. And it's not a great sign, especially when you're going into a preseason game. You don't have your starting center. You don't have your backup center. And now you're not going to have your third-string center. So now you have to rely on Quinn Miners and somebody else to do some of the duties to be the starting center moving into this or going into this first preseason game, ZB.
I could not believe I saw the All-Pro snapping the ball, playing out of position. Quinn was asked, can he play center if needed?
I sharpen that tool every single year just in case. I gotta have it in the back pocket. I know that it's important to add that value to the offensive line room. That in an emergency situation, even last year against the Chargers at the end of the year, I was technically one snap away from having to go in and play some center. So I always keep that tool sharpened in case I have to. I learned the offense consistently from a center's perspective. I think as a guard, if you can understand our scheme from a center's perspective, it'll allow you to identify the defense quicker. Or, if a new center comes in, a younger guy or someone that's played guard and play center, I can help them identify the mic and stuff like that. So it's a tool I constantly keep sharpened just in case it gets needed. And I hope I don't have to use that tool. But if I do, I'm ready.
That's great that he can play center. You don't want Quinn Miners playing center.
Quinn Miners doesn't want to play center.
No.
It's so hard to play center, ZB, and he's right. A center is the quarterback's best friend. One, you're snapping the ball to the quarterback, but you're his eyes.
Sure.
You're the one usually calling the mic out and making sure everybody is lined up the right way. And hey, maybe there's a blitz coming and Bo didn't see it and say, hey, Bo, let's check to the left. Let's shift to the left. And so you need a smart center out there, a center that's been through a lot with that quarterback. And right now, Z, that's not going to be the case going into this first preseason game unless Luke Wattenberg is going to play, which he seems like he's getting better. I don't know if he'll play. He hasn't practiced.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he hasn't practiced and it's Tuesday, he's not playing Friday. And I doubt that Alex Forsythe is going to play. And then Michael Dieter, your third string, he looks like he's done for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know about this. This just got a little bit complicated for Friday. And we may need to return to a conversation we were having yesterday.
We need to.
Maybe.
We need to, Coach.
Maybe. We'll see.
I'm Bo Nix, Coach. You gonna put me out there, man?
No, we're definitely gonna have that conversation because it is not good, man. It's just not good. And so Waddle, not out there. Forsythe, not out there. Michael Bandy, not out there. Caleb Lohner, not out there. Mims was in pads, not doing a whole heck of a lot.
No, he was still on Greg Dulcich Memorial Field. He was out there doing his work there, and then when team periods start, moseyed on over there, never participated, didn't even have his helmet on.
Okay, so he didn't practice again.
Didn't practice.
Starting center Luke Wattenberg, we just went over that. He's not. So, yeah, the Broncos just continue to go through it. They're going through it. That's just how it is right now.
JK was out there going through individual period, but did not, although he had his helmet, had the pads on, looked well during individual. He did not take a rep in team. He did not take a rep in inside drill, anything like that. He was just there watching the practice.
So we're labeling it JK did not practice.
Did not practice.
Did not. If you don't go in teamwork, you're not practicing.
DNP.
Okay. Although he did call out and say, "I'm healthy. You know, I'm still healthy." And it's like, damn, man, I just. Okay.
Just be quiet.
Okay. Right.
Dodge the bullet.
Right. Okay. And then real quick, I hope that he is not making himself go out there and do individual stuff just to show people, hey, the pinky promise is still intact. I'm in my uniform. You guys see me. I hope he's not pushing himself here in August for who the Broncos need in September, October, November, December.
You have to keep that promise, ZB. That pinky promise.
Yep. Or someone's getting a dress purchase for them or a drink purchase for them.
There we go.
Okay. All right. There is a positional group that we came into the season saying, you want to know what? That can have a bit of a revival under Davis Webb. And unfortunately, we're just not seeing it. We'll talk about it next.
Catch up on everything happening at DenverSports.com. Weeknights from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. with Denver Sports Tonight. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here, talking to the fellas. If you've been wandering around the house lately, wondering why you're tired, foggy, unmotivated, gaining weight, even though your diet consists of mostly air and regret, you might be dealing with low testosterone. A lot of dudes just blame it on getting older, but let's be real. You shouldn't feel like you need a nap after tying your shoes. And if your workouts feel more like warm-ups, your sleep is trash, your sex drive is in the witness protection program, it might be time to get checked out. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, they use advanced medical strategies like TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1, PDA, and more to help you get your energy back, improve sleep, boost your workouts, shed pounds, and yes, bring back that sex drive. Your appointment is just $99. That includes a medical consult plus a T and PSA test. And if you start treatment that day, your visit's free. All right? They have 5 locations in Colorado to serve you. They've served tens of thousands of men. So take the 2 minutes and go take the low T quiz at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Every year, summer ends and the kids go back to school. This year, I'm going back too, at My Computer Career. They helped me get financial aid, and I got to choose online or on-campus classes to fit my needs. Now I'm on a fast track to a high-demand IT career where the rewards can finally match my value. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. It's never too late to go back to school.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
What's up, guys? Phillip Lindsay here. And summer is already here. Tea times, perfect drives, and enjoying the greens with your family and friends. But if joint pain is holding you back, keeping you off the golf course, discover natural pain-free relief with Regen RX. Their shockwave, stem cell, and PRP therapy could be the key to reclaiming your swing and active golfing life. No surgery, no downtime, and no risk. Right now, they're offering a limited number of consultations. Text PAIN to 303-630-9770 to see if you're a candidate. Don't wait any longer. Go see my friends at Regen RX right now.
For 90 years, Belco Credit Union has proudly called Colorado home. That's thanks to all our members who have helped us grow alongside our beautiful state. To celebrate our anniversary, Belco is offering a special low fixed rate on a new home equity choice line advance. If you've been waiting to start a new home renovation project, now's the perfect time. Go to belco.org/90 years to see full offer details. Equal housing opportunity lender. Membership eligibility required. All loans subject to approval. Belco. Banking for everyone.
Dan Jacobs with Jacobs Law on 303 Law 4040. Here's a story my lovely wife Kimberly was particularly proud of. Jeffrey, a listener just like you, called 303 Law 4040 and said he was T-boned by a driver running a red light and rammed his car right into a tree. When the cops came, the other driver lied and the police believed him. They said Jeffrey was at fault. Now, with the big made-for-TV lawyers, that's where the case would normally end. Many of them won't even touch a case if they actually have to work to prove it. But Jeffrey insisted he was innocent. He worked with us together on our team to find the witnesses and the evidence to get the ticket overturned and the insurance company's denial reversed. At 303 Law 4040, we aren't a big settlement mill like the made-for-TV lawyers. Each client meets with me and my lovely wife Kimberly in person, and you get our cell phone numbers. If you've been injured in an accident, you know the number, 303 Law 4040. Go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303 Law 4040.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. When I'm looking for a place that delivers big on flavor and has an awesome atmosphere, I head to Jack's. Locally owned with locations in Denver on Pearl Street and the new flagship in Lone Tree at Park Meadows Drive. Jack's serves premium Australian Wagyu, incredible seafood, and chef-driven dry-aged specialties. Grab lunch, enjoy social hour from 3 to 5, or make it a date night. And don't miss the Blind Tiger Speakeasy. Jack's, where upscale meets comfortable.
When disaster hits your home, it's game time. Water in the basement, fire damage, mold creeping in. Don't sit on the sidelines. Call Able. Able Restoration is your first round draft pick for emergency response, mitigation, and full rebuild. We move fast, protect your property, and fight for you with insurance start to finish. This isn't practice. This is your home. And when it's time to step up and protect what matters most, bring Able to the table. Call 303-590-5600. That's 303-590-5600. Go Able.
Bring Able to the table.
Experience the new $3 Pepper Jack Steak Burrito in Decadent Melty or Crisp Fresca. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
I have a question. Did you get high?
Oh, ZB. I ain't messing with you no more. Not messing with you no more.
Oh, my God. I gave Phil a gummy once. Can we tell that story or no?
Oh, yeah.
We were in Boston. We were in Boston listening to Richie talk.
Oh.
We took a trip to Boston.
Shout out Richie.
To listen to Richie talk.
From dinner.
I tell you, man.
To the next part.
Oh my gosh, dude.
To the next part, all Richie did was talk.
We'll get to Broncos here in a second, but we went to Boston for Army Navy. Really an awesome experience. I mean, it was
fun, man.
It was such a cool experience, and we had unique access that apparently wasn't good enough for us, so we gave ourselves even more access.
No, yeah, this is why you don't hang out with ZB, because if you want to have some fun, you hang out with ZB, because you're going to do things you never thought you could do before. And you're going to be on the football field while the Army-Navy game's going on.
Like, you can't make that up.
No.
You can't make it up.
No.
We were our toes on the sideline for Army-Navy because I found out where the photojournalists were going to pick up their vests. And I just walked in. I'm like, hey.
Part of the team.
I'm Zach. I'm here to pick up my vest. And they're like, do you have your ID? And I'm like, yeah, here, sure. give me that vest. And we could go anywhere we wanted. And it was insane. I mean, we're watching a goal line stand on the goal line. I mean, just insane. But we went out and, time to time, recreationally safe, like have a little gummy. And I gave one to Phil, and it was just night.
Oh, yeah.
He was the lights were on, but no one was home.
I forgot you gave it to me. So we're having a good conversation. We're talking. Richie is talking. And then all of a sudden, bam, it hits me. And I start zoning out. And I'm like, what the, what? I'm like, what's going on?
And I bought you a beer. And Phil is at the bar for an hour. This guy's talking to him. Phil's not listening to a word he says. And I look back an hour later, not one sip of the beer gone, just staring straight away.
Man, the beers were like $20 a piece, by the way.
They were.
ZB was upset.
I thought they were
talking to the bartender like,
yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, come on, give me a regular beer.
No, because if you remember, I bought myself a mixed drink, I bought Richie a beer, and I bought you a beer,
Yeah.
and the bill was like $78. Like legit. I thought they made a mistake, and then she made some comment to me like, what kind of hotel were we staying at? It was like the Marriott. She's like, welcome to the Marriott bar.
Yes.
And I was like, wow. Like, not only
Because
is
you're
the
like,
bill
"Excuse me."
correct.
You're like, excuse me, I think you made a mistake here.
Yeah.
All right.
And she looked at it, she's like, welcome to the Marriott bar, downtown Boston. I'm like, oh, so this is like a flex for you. And I was so appalled by her reaction.
Come back here.
And she actually gave us another round on her. But yeah, that's Phil's gummy story. All right, looking out at practice, man, there's one positional group, and someone in particular, and I'm not trying to pick on anyone, but we got to be real. Man, I don't know what's going on with Evan Ingram. All right, the first 2 days before the pads came on, he looked like, an early camp darling.
Even OTAZ, there was glimpses of, okay, they're getting ready to start really implementing Evan Ingram, and he looks good. He looks fresh. He's ready to turn this page. I don't know, Z.
Yeah, and we all want him to, like, let's go. Like, and obviously he is probably never going to rediscover what he was supposed to be, this Joker role, or who he was in Jacksonville or even New York. But it's like, okay, what's the best version of you right now in 2026? And if someone asked me that question based on the evidence, because I like to draw from some substance in forming an opinion, I'm not just going to say stuff just to say it and put lipstick on things that don't, I don't know what to say. He's invisible. We saw a ball go right through his hands today.
Yeah.
He was one of the league leaders, really second in the NFL in the wrong kind of way in drop rate, behind only the kid, the rookie from the New York Jets, Mason something. But that's the kind of company he's keeping, and this is supposed to be a big camp, and we thought he needed to start fast. The entire tight end positional group, we're talking about it today, you and me out there watching practice. I mean, you tell me what you're seeing.
Z, it's just quiet. It's just quiet, like it's MIA. Like they're out there, but they're not. Adam Trotman at the beginning of camp 2 had a couple really good plays during 7-on-7 from Jarrett Stidham and Bo Nix. Haven't heard his name since. All right, Justin Jolie, a guy that needs to start coming along. And honestly, I like what I see out of him. He's doing a lot more blocking.
Yeah.
All right, so you could tell they're working on him with that. He's getting catches, but it's not downfield with the athletic, body frame. It's the flat routes that you're seeing from Jolie, which is like, okay, it's a slow starting position historically. Like, he's young. He's supposed to do things like this. But Evan Ingram, I need to see the separation. And when he does get the separation and he's open, it's too late. Or Bo doesn't have his eyes on him. And sometimes I'm like, okay, he looks like Evan Ingram, that is. He looks like he's the first read in the progression, and yet Bo doesn't go to him. And that's a big-time problem because you're supposed to be in camp building the chemistry, getting that connection down, and that's not what's happening. And for Evan Ingram, it's like, man, when are you going to wake up and start being more explosive? I know and understand that it's scripted, and sometimes the plays are not going to you. But if you do not make enough plays during preseason, how the hell are you going to get plays during the regular season? Sean Payton has to know and trust that you're going to get the job done and you're going to be in your right spots all the time and you're going to catch the football.
Yeah.
But you must show him that during preseason and camp, and he hasn't done that consistently enough, ZB.
And you have reported in your own way and style that the Broncos came to Evan Ingram and asked him to take a pay cut.
They wanted Evan Ingram to take a pay cut. Not just one time, more than once. They've threatened to, hey, like, we want a pay cut from him. And my guessing is his agent saying, no, we're not going to do that. Why would you do that? If you don't like my guy, then just cut him. Let him have his money and move on. You're not going to do that when you have a bunch of money tied to you. And so for Ev, I think it's time for him to show in these preseason games, and hopefully Davis Webb gets him involved early. Let's just say that the starters do play in this first preseason game, a couple crossing routes so that can get him going, and we've talked about this. Evan Ingram's a guy that needs to get going early for him to have a good day at the office. So in order for that to happen, be the first or second read in the progression. Get him going on a couple crossing routes, maybe a couple choice routes, something down the middle, a seam route. And we're just not seeing that enough, and hopefully that changes during this preseason experience.
Yeah, but so far, not great.
No.
Nothing really to report on from the tight end spot. And I wish it was different. And if I had to guess, and I'll just say it right now here on Tuesday, August 11th, it's if you want to send in hot takes, you can. I don't think this is a very hot take. I think it's pretty room temperature. 8 months notice. I think the Broncos are taking a tight end in the first round.
And you said that earlier. right? Like unpromptly just said it. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
But I started thinking about it, and it's like, you're right. We're not hearing any type of noise from that room.
No.
A bunch of bodies, but nobody has just taken advantage of these opportunities and made plays consistently. Evan Ingram being one of them that needs to do that. Justin Jolie, this is your moment, right? Your athletic ability. Why are we not seeing you get the separation? And again, I know some of this is scripted, but I want to see that. So, and maybe that changes. And maybe that changes, guys, when they get in these preseason games.
Sure.
And bullets are flying and the quarterbacks have to get the ball out of their hands quicker because they don't want to get hit. But for Evan Ingram, I need to see more out of you in these preseason games because it hasn't been enough during damn camp.
Yeah, and that's just the real, guys. That's just the real. So don't be shocked if the Denver Broncos tight end room is among the worst in the NFL like they were a year ago.
Yet again.
And make no mistake, that is not an opinion. That is a fact. The Broncos 2025 tight end room was among the worst in the entire league on multiple statistics, and you don't even need the stats. You guys have eyes and an actively working brain. So that's where we're at with the tight end room. In terms of the preseason game this coming weekend, who is it most important to? We'll talk about some of those candidates next.
Want real Broncos talk? Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue Today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue Today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here from my friends at Homestrong. Home repairs should not feel overwhelming. That's why Homestrong is your one-stop shop. Family-owned, over 20-plus years of experience, and the highest-rated structural company in the state of Colorado with over 300 five-star Google reviews. So if you see cracks, water issues, a cold, dirty crawl space, start with a free inspection and quote. Homestrong handles everything: foundation repair, basement waterproofing, crawl space encapsulation, concrete lifting, decorative concrete, even turning crawl spaces into fully finished basements without calling another contractor. Financing is available. Lifetime transferable warranty. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
At Gebhardt BMW, they're proud to serve their clients and deliver the luxury experience you expect from BMW and the Gebhardt family. They have immediate availability and flexible transportation options to accommodate your busy schedule. They also offer one-stop shopping for all your BMW needs, from maintenance to repairs, window tint to clear mask, and light body and wheel repair. They really are a one-stop destination for all your BMW needs. Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealership in Boulder since 1975.
Mike Rowe here with another fun fact. If your concrete is cracked or uneven, you can actually lift it back up. Whether it's a sinking driveway, a patio, or a sidewalk, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to lift your concrete slabs. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, it's Phillip Lindsay here. Do you need a new roof, gutters, or exterior needs? Monarch is your one-stop shop, backed by 16 years of experience and over 10,000 satisfied customers. Their in-house insurance team fights for you, and their white glove service means every detail is handled with care. Competitive pricing, award-winning craftsmanship, and the only roofer the Denver Broncos chose to endorse. A proud member of Team Dave Logan, make the call to your home team, Monarch Construction and Roofing, the official roofer of the Denver Broncos.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Hi, I'm Donnie, owner of Fitness Gallery, where we believe there's nothing more important than your health. We can't stop time, but we can make your day more efficient. And we can help you get fit and stay fit.
Hey, Broncos country, I'm Terrell Davis. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. Work out on your schedule from the privacy of your own home.
At Fitness Gallery, we have the nation's lowest prices on the highest quality products that stand the test of time.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. I've trusted Natural Tree Care and Recycling with my property for over 3 years, and there's a reason I keep calling them back. The owner, Aaron, a Colorado native, so they're locally owned, consistent, reliable. They do everything with integrity. They protect healthy trees throughout the drought. They keep your landscape looking incredible. No job is too big or too small, so give them a call at 303-803-3850 or visit naturaltreerecycle.com. That's naturaltreerecycle.com. You'll see why I'm a customer for life. This segment on The Fan is brought to you by Homestrong, Colorado's foundation repair and concrete experts.
It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, hanging out with you here on a Tuesday. I want to just address something because I've seen it a couple times here on the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043.
What do we do now, Z?
Well, it's
what do we do?
The Greg Dulcich Memorial Field.
Yeah.
Is a joke.
Okay.
It's a
yes,
joke.
Yeah, it's a joke.
It's a joke. Greg Dulcich, luckily, is still with us here, alive, and it's a hat tip because I said that when one, he was just always hurt.
Always.
Right. His hamstrings were like tighter than a stripper's thong. I mean, like they just like violin strings. His hamstrings were, and then, but when we got the news that they were reteaching him to run. Do you remember that report?
I remember that one, ZB. I'm like scratching my head still. How the hell do you teach another grown man how to
who's in the NFL
run? And who's in the NFL how to run again?
They're like, and it was Kliss put it out there that like they're trying to change his gait, when he runs, and I'm like, wait a second. That's how I know.
You got to gallop like a stallion.
That's how I knew this was a lost cause, and because he was over there, it used to be Jake Butt Memorial Field because he was over there so much. But I feel so bad for what Jake. At least Greg's still at it.
Z, Jake was a damn good tight end that could just never get right.
No,
in knees, right, rushing back all the time. I remember because he was in the locker room with me.
Sure,
right, and it was like he always felt the pressure because of what happened to him in that bowl game.
Was it the Rose Bowl?
It was the Rose Bowl, and thankfully for him, he had insurance on his knee, so he's able to get some money because of that, because he lost a lot in the draft because he dropped so low.
But I think it was like because we found out the insurance number. I think it was like $300,000.
Oh, so it was only $300,000.
Yeah, and
I thought he had more.
And I hope that's my memory serving, and I think it does.
Well,
but
Detective Z, so I'm pretty sure that you got it.
But it was like, yeah, like you get that money, but like the upside if he was healthy, it's just like there was no limit. This guy was a John Mackey Award winner. And so when he actually retired, I felt too guilty saying Jake Butt Memorial Field. So it turned to Greg Dulcich Memorial.
So you're going to bully on Greg.
The naming rights flipped, right? It went from Invesco.
Somebody bought it.
Sports
Somebody
Authority.
Bought the rights.
Was it Sports Authority when you were playing? But I remember you doing an interview still
Invesco
calling it
Field.
Invesco. And you're playing for the Broncos. I'm like, they
but
probably don't love that.
Now, right? Knowing me now, you're like, okay, that's just Phil.
that is Phil. Yeah, so that's just a joke. It's just a joke, all right? An attempt at humor.
You don't want to be on that field.
You don't.
It's a side field.
It's a rehab field.
It's the rehab field.
Yes.
That means that you're going through an injury, soft tissue, ankle, anything like that. You're on that field. You're not practicing. And if you're a young guy trying to make the team, you definitely don't want to be on that field because my guessing is your ass is not making the team if you're on Greg Dulcich Memorial Field too much, too long. You're not going to be on the team anymore.
Yeah. All right. I want to talk about this preseason game coming up on Friday. We'll get to Greg Penner and his press conference earlier today. We have that audio. We'll pass that along for you and all the layered conversations that will come along with that. We'll do that here in 12 minutes. Who do you think this weekend is most important to? What Denver Bronco comes to mind when you talk about, man, this is a big Friday evening for someone?
The guy that's coming to my mind right now, he has had a phenomenal camp. Has been around the ball on the defensive side of the ball, and I think you know who I'm getting ready to talk about, but he's flying around, coming off that edge. But now it's time for him to show it on a game day, in the preseason game, where you get to officially tackle somebody, whether it's the quarterback, whether it's running back, stopping the run, doing what you have to do so that you can get the playing time. And that's big Q Robinson, number 51. He has been having a hell of a camp. Even today, he had a sack, ZB.
He did.
He looks like he's getting familiar with the system. He's comfortable in that system. He's comfortable because he's getting so much more reps, whether that's because Nick Bonino has been banged up or maybe they just want to see more of Q Robinson. Q Robinson has been going with the ones at times, the twos, the threes. He's getting a lot of reps. And so now it's time for him to put it on display during a real-life game. Now, last year, it looked like he was getting better. Now, he played in only 6 games, but in those 6 games, he was getting better. He had a half a sack in the regular season, and then he had a sack in the AFC Championship game. Now, of course, there's context to it. He came off the edge free.
He did.
But you still got to go and make that play.
Sure.
And so for Big Q Robinson, for him to take that next jump, it's about going out there and showing it in a real-life game, getting a couple tackles, maybe a couple sacks, and it's big for him because if he can do that and show the coaching staff that they can trust him, then the worry goes away about someone like Jay Coop and what's going on with him. And if he does have to miss some time, we could rely on Q Robinson, and that's the plan, right? You drafted him later on in the draft because he's developing, and he's developing at a rapid pace, and he's looking really good. Now he has to go out there and show it and prove everybody in that facility that they're right.
Yeah, prove them right. And the draft process proved that right. This was a prospect, not a real player, but he's looking like a real player out there in practice. And Nick Bonito sort of said the same thing earlier this afternoon, like, hey, this guy's making plays every day. Now it's time to see if he can actually do it in a game.
Yes.
Because, and we talked a lot about this during really post-draft and in the last handful of weeks talking about Q Robinson, is that he was not a great player at Alabama. He didn't really get a chance to get on the field until his last year, and even then I think it was 4.5 sacks, I want to say, total for the season, which is nice for anyone, but you're saying this guy was a mid-round pick. You would like to point to some more production at the collegiate level if you think he can produce at the pro level. But, man, this could be a big-time feather in the cap of George Payton if he can continue to make plays because much like someone like Pat Bryant, it's every day with Q.
Every day.
It's every day. And when it shows up every single day, probably not an accident. And so that's a really good one to watch on Friday night. Guys, number 51, Q Robinson out of Alabama. We've been talking about him in a steadfast way here for almost 3 weeks. 6'5", 241. He's 25 years old, and he has traits that you just can't teach. And he's from Birmingham, actually, his hometown. Birmingham, Alabama, not too far from Tuscaloosa. That's a good one. I'll say one to watch for me is his name just came up a couple minutes ago, but Justin Jolie. And I think that it's important for Jolie. He's a rookie. It's a historically slow starting position, as you emphasized just a couple minutes ago. I think the position's up for grabs.
How dare you? You got Adam Trotman, you got Evan Ingram, and you're saying the position's up for grabs?
Adam Trotman's good. Adam Trotman's not going anywhere. Like, he is solidified. Now, you may be unimpressed by Adam Trotman, but I just know what I know, and his standing with Sean Payton.
Very consistent.
Trotman's not going anywhere. Evan Ingram, not so sure. Could we see a scenario where Evan Ingram is benched? Could we see a scenario where the Broncos try to trade Evan Ingram?
Now, you do believe that Evan Ingram is going to be on the roster, come day one against the Kansas City Chiefs, and then something, if it doesn't go right, and Evan's just sitting there on the sideline like he did at the beginning of the year last year, something like that could happen where you trade the man.
I think that he's going to make the roster because I don't think you can trade him. You'll have to take on his money. The team that knows him best right now currently didn't even want to pay him this money.
Yeah.
They asked him for a pay cut. You're saying multiple times.
Multiple times.
And by the way, if he did take that pay cut, Broncos could cut him.
That's why usually they want you to take that pay cut, unless you're Ben Powers and you're doing it from the kindness of your heart, and they know they're going to probably keep you. Yeah, they want you to take a pay cut because they're saying, hey, we paid you this money. You didn't do your part to keep this money. Please give it back to us. We'll keep you on the roster. Wink, wink. Put the, fingers crossed. But if you don't look good, we have the luxury and the flexibility to cut you.
Right. So for someone like Justin Joly, look, this is probably too much of a forecast, okay, given the historical nature of that position for rookies.
What do you need to see from Joly, though?
Something downfield, something explode. Like, the Denver Broncos need something out of this tight end room when it comes to the pass game. It's not just about run blocking. And I know they're telling me yesterday that Evan Ingram always, they're putting him inside more. It's not going to be a tell because he's getting so much better at blocking.
That's what Bo's saying.
With all due respect to Bo, stop. Evan Ingram in year 10 isn't going to become just some great blocker.
No,
There's no evidence of that.
Z, that's a mentality thing. Like, you either got it or you don't. Like, you have to want to block. You know who wants to block? Pat Bryant. They have this man literally pulling like a guard, and we talked about it yesterday, to kick out a linebacker. Why is someone like Pat Bryant having to do that and not Evan Ingram? I saw Evan Ingram. They had a creative play, and I don't want to give up their plays, but they had a creative play, Z, and you were there too, where they motioned Evan in the backfield to be a fullback. If I'm the running back, I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
Why do you have Evan Ingram lead blocking for me? And sure enough, Evan goes out there, he misses the block, it gets blown up. All right? It's just one of these things where you either have it or you don't. It's a mentality thing. You want to finish somebody off, or you just want to play patty cake. And at times, that's what it seems like Evan Ingram wants to do when it comes to blocking. All right? Other than that, like, he needs to continue to just try to do his thing as a pass catcher.
All right. We'll leave that where it lies for now. Greg Penner, in one of the rare media availabilities, press conference style, did speak to the local media, and we'll talk about our biggest takeaways next.
It's Training Camp 2026, Unfinished Business. Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth will kick things off starting at 6 a.m., powered by Applied Future Technologies. Then Dover and Cecil will react live to all the action until 2 p.m. Thanks to Denver Roof Pros and Beyond Dino Law Firm. At 2, The Drive will recap the day thanks to Aero Seal Colorado. Stay locked into Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan and DenverSports.com for all the latest news and information during football season. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here from my friends at Aero Seal Colorado. When your air conditioning is kicking on today, is that cold air that flows through your HVAC ducts, is it going where it's supposed to go with the pressure that it's supposed to have? Or do you have temperature inconsistencies room to room? Maybe a hot upstairs, a cold downstairs. Guys, that's bigger than a temperature or comfort issue. That's an energy issue. That's an efficiency issue. That is a utility bill issue. Guys, Aero Seal Colorado came to my house a handful of years ago, and they aero sealed my ducts with their patented technology where they seal your ducts from the inside. Think of like the process of a Fix-A-Flat. It's the same idea with your duct system. And now when that AC kicks on, man, it is pumping out of those vents. We no longer have those comfort issues. All right, we have more of an even home, a truly innovative approach to making our home and your home more comfortable. So go learn what I already know for me and my family at aerosealcolorado.com. That's AERO SealColorado.com.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
They say age 40 is the new 20, and that's because guys in their 40s and 50s and 60s are walking around with testosterone levels of their 20s. If you want energy, drive, and libido of your younger self, then go to fixmylowt.com and book your free T-test today.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Rob Dino here at BeatTheDA.com. I've handled over 7,000 cases, 300 trials. Let's face it, divorce is really impactful. You may have a controlling spouse. You may have a violent spouse. You may have been a victim of a domestic violence. You may be wrongfully accused of domestic violence. This all affects parenting rights. And let's face it, the kids are the most important. These are the things that need to be handled. They need to be handled appropriately by someone that's going to protect your kids and protect your rights. Hit me up at BeatTheDA.com, 720-706-5151.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity. What if you had the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years guaranteed? Thanks to Xfinity, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. Now through August 24th, get the best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. You're guaranteed 5 years of super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats and finds and fixes issues before you even notice them. No annual contracts or commitments, no hidden fees, and the best equipment included. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Are you one of those people who dread going to the dentist? If so, have you tried sedation dentistry? Learn more about sedation dentistry at coloradosedation.com. Sit back, relax, and dream with the most experienced sedation dentist and staff at Clarkson Dental.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Powered by Regen RX. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay. Leading off with the big story of the day, here's The Drive with Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Phillip Lindsay.
1 hour in the books. Quicker than a New York minute. Here we go. Hanging out with you here on a Tuesday, August 11th. Just about, I call it 74 hours before kickoff of the Denver Broncos' first preseason game.
We're here. I'm here.
We are, and man, it was an interesting day out there at Broncos. We've spent some time talking about practice, some the tight end positional group as a whole, but specifically Evan Ingram really lacking in a way that we were hoping the opposite for, and still a couple other things to get to from practice today. But today was a unique day because the owner of the Denver Broncos sat down and spoke with a collection of media members. And, man, we only hear from Greg probably 3 times a year max.
At the end of the year?
At the end of the year press conference, at the owners' meeting, and right around now. But what was interesting is we went back and looked, and Greg did not speak at the start of the season last year. So sometimes it's 3 times in a year, like it is right now. Sometimes it was 2, like last year. So basically, just long-winded way of saying, like, we just don't hear from Greg Penner a lot.
No, and I know the man is busy. There's a lot going on. He's partaking with the Rockies and the drama there, and all of a sudden you got the facility that was just over $100 million facility that was made that's so beautiful, and you were worried about that. And then you got this stadium. You have this stadium that you have to worry about, and so many different obstacles that Greg Penner and the ownership group are having to jump over. So the man's busy all the time, so he probably doesn't want to talk to us common folks.
Well, I'll say this. Greg Penner is as approachable of a billionaire that maybe is walking planet Earth. No joke.
He said hi to DG.
He did.
Dante Gomez. Shout out Dante.
No, and no joke, and this is from my own experiences with him and speaking with him, watching his movements, and also communicating with people that are around Greg on a more day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Greg Penner, the same way that he will say hello to Dante Gomez, he would say hello to the janitor.
So you're not special, DG. I'm sorry.
And so no, and I think that's a great quality to have.
It's a really great quality.
All of us should have that, right, in our own, because even in your own walk of life, no matter what you do, there's like a big shot at work, right, or at the in your family, whatever, right,
yeah.
and that person, you need to understand the power that you have to the circle of people that are in your life and use it for good in any way possible. And I think Greg Penner has done that, and so and look, like, we have to remember, this ownership group, one of the first things that they did was buy safe helmets for every high school football player in the state of Colorado, the largest philanthropic thing the Denver Broncos have ever done.
See, I was just thinking about that the other day. I was working out with my son, and we were at a park, and there was a young man. He was walking home from Tree Creek Trails. He had his helmet, and guess what? The Guardian cap was on it. And I'm like, wow, that's Greg and Carrie Penner taking care of that young man. He might not know it really. He's walking down the street. But these guys, right, not just these guys, but Greg and Carrie, they took care of that young man and all his teammates to try to keep him on the football field. It was just something like I was just thinking of as the young man was walking by with a football helmet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Broncos and this city and this state and this Rocky Mountain region really lucked out with this ownership group. Now, we're going to maybe wade into some waters where our listeners may say, well, I don't like that about this ownership group, and we'll get to that. But I like that Greg made himself available. That's obviously a choice, all right? And so we were able to ask him some questions, all right? And he covered a lot of ground. Here's just a primer on the thought on extending Sean Payton the way that he did just a couple months ago.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really pleased with what he's built here, the culture, the performance on the field, enabled us to line up he and George's contracts now. George has done a fantastic job building this roster. The two of them work together, so I think it positions us, in this time where we've got a roster and we've got continuity at the leadership level, so we can go after it year after year.
We can go after it year after year. The
Yeah.
Broncos have the most continuity of any team in the NFL, not just the roster, but the general manager, the coach have now been tied at the hip here for years. So ownership, general manager, coach, roster, hard to find more continuity than the Denver Broncos have right now.
And that's why you're having so much success, right? And I always bring up the story. When I was with the Denver Broncos, there was no owner, okay? Elway wasn't held accountable. He would come to practice when he wanted to. He would leave when he wanted to. You're not seeing that from Sean. And you're not seeing that from George. You're not seeing that from anybody. And that's because you have the head man, Greg Penner, that's there every single day, that you said has an office right next to all the coaches.
On the football floor.
On the football floor. He's holding everybody accountable. He's looking them dead in the eye saying, what are you going to do to help this team win? That's all that matters. And that's why he's going to be a great owner for a very long time. And this establishment, the Denver Broncos, already has a rich history.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to continue to be like that because you have the right pieces there when it comes to the general manager, head coach, the players, but specifically that ownership group.
Yeah, and I asked them, talking about the on-field product, hey, are you willing, and I hope this is the cut because I'm seeing all this just for the first time, but I said, hey, are you willing to say out loud what the goal is for the 2026 Denver Broncos? And this is what he said.
Excited. I mean, it's I feel like each season we come in and we're more prepared and a better roster and a more complete coaching staff, and all the pieces are there. Since the first season, and that's how I feel about it now, and we can't wait to get out there. We got all the pieces, and we have the right culture, and again, we're providing the right resources. You always need a little bit of luck, and then you just got to go out and perform.
All right, so a little bit more of the same there. This is actually, I'm seeing it now. This is the question: what will define success for the 2026 Broncos?
I think that's a hard question. I mean, because I don't, you get to binary answers, but our goal is to compete for championships every year. If we put ourselves in that position, I think we're going to be successful and we're going to win Super Bowls.
All right, now I have to say this. Now
what do you have to say, Z?
Let's just review his answer.
Okay.
All right, that's a hard question to answer because you get into binary answers, right? And he says our goal is to compete every year and compete for championships.
Yes.
And if we're in the mix every year, we think we're going to win Super Bowls. Super Bowls. Super Bowls. And
oh man,
I have to say this. Boy, how different was that response as opposed to Josh Kroenke when he was asked what the goal is for the Jokic era.
But the reason for that is...
I'm sorry, I had to say it.
No, for sure. But you're confident in everybody around you, though.
Yes.
You're confident, but you're also letting them do their job.
Right.
Where we know, let's just be honest, like, Josh's hands is in that pot, and he's trying to, steer this ship. And there's, 3 other hands on the steering wheel where someone like Greg, he lets everybody do their part.
Right.
Right? You hire these guys to do their part, and you move on from there. The culture has been built. The players are there that you like. All right, the coaching staff is intact that you like. You're doing your part as an owner and doing your part to help them out by the facilities and at some point the stadium. What more do you want? Go out there and put together that great product and win games. But if you do that enough and you have the right guys in the building and it's a healthy relationship between everybody,
right,
you're going to win championships. You're going to win Super Bowls.
Yeah, and that used to be the answer that Greg Penner gave. It used to sound more like that from the Nuggets, and this year it was a utter layup of a question. It was an alley-oop. You didn't even have to dribble the ball. You just got to catch it and put it in the hoop, okay? And
you're pissing me off right now, Z. I'm shaking my
dude,
head.
I've been pissed off here for months. For months about this situation, okay? We've been talking about it since after the week after the season ended and what was in store for this offseason. And then this time around, this trip around the sun, it's what's the goal for the Jokic era, and it's to win as many games as possible. No title, no championship aspirations. It's just a different mindset. And I like Greg Penner's response a lot more. Just, hey, I'm not going to say Super Bowl or bust, but that's as close as you can say without saying it, right? We're going to compete every year for championships. And if we compete every year for championships, we expect to win Super Bowls. With an S on the end? Come on, man. That fires me up a little bit here.
Yes. And you know why Greg is so confident? He was so close from a damn Super Bowl last year.
Yep.
He was a Bo Nix ankle away from a Super Bowl, and he knows that. And he's like, dang, look how much we have done so far in little time. Now, imagine what it's going to look like as Bo gets better and they develop and they continue to bring in these other players from the free agency and they draft the right players. This is going to be an establishment that just continues to go on on and on if you have the right pieces, which they do, Z.
Yeah. All right, here's a little bit more from Greg Penner. All right. What were his focuses when planning the new stadium project?
That was a big part of it. 2 things that Carrie and I were really focused on is three things. One, we want to be able to enjoy the outdoor Colorado weather. 2, we want to be able to grow grass. And then 3, as we were thinking about a retractable roof, we want the skydivers to be able to land.
All right. So how about that? So
interesting.
We want to be able to enjoy the Colorado weather,
which they love to do, right? They do a lot of hiking, a lot of that's what
mountain climbing for Greg. We've seen. Well, I'm not gonna. You know what I was about to say?
I know what you're about to say.
I'm not gonna say it.
You're gonna get spanking.
Yep. Colorado weather.
Yeah.
To grow grass, to grow natural grass.
Something you can't do, ZB.
With these water restrictions. I'm
ciphering water, man. I'm good.
And then thirdly, retractable roof. He said we want the skydivers to be able to land That's a bar.
That is.
That's a bar.
That is. It's like, hey, look, like we're thinking big. We're thinking about you guys and skydivers and how when you're able to go to this stadium and have this experience, they're going to be coming from this brand new facility out of the air onto the football field. In order to do that, you got to have a retractable roof. You got to have some nice fluffy green grass like your boy Phil over here does, because I'm over here stealing people's water. Right? You got to be able to have all that. And Greg Penner and Kerry Penner, that's exactly what they have done. They have sat down and they have done a great job of organizing and being very detailed on what they want done.
All right. I asked him, has the process at Burnham Yard been more frustrating than you thought coming into the process? And this is what Greg Penner said.
I don't know that it's been more frustrating than I thought. I think, we went into this knowing if you're going to do a project of this scale, and we knew, when we started focusing on this site specifically, that it was going to be more challenging. But we also, really want to stay in Denver if we can and deliver a stadium in this, in this market that is a vital part of the downtown. But if you're doing a project in an area like that, it's just harder. So I think we went in with our eyes wide open about the challenges, and we'll keep working.
We went into it with eyes wide open. We'll keep working. Project of this scale at that location. Sometimes, let me just say it like this. Sometimes football coaches have to lie a little bit, okay? In this case, I think Greg Penner has to lie a little bit.
What do you think he's lying on, though?
Because I think that I know for certain that this process has been much more frustrating than the Denver Broncos thought it was going to be. And I also have an understanding when I ask that question, I'm probably not going to get the authentic answer that I want. And in no way, in shape or form, am I calling like Greg Penner like a liar, like inauthentic. No, it's the opposite, truly. But with this situation specifically, he is not going to put the other principals involved, their business on the street. He's not going to do it. But I can tell you for a matter of fact, this has been at times a maddening process for the Denver Broncos.
You don't think that Greg Penner is a guy that loves challenges? Like, it seems like he loves to push himself on different things, whether it's an adventure, whether it's some type of business thing he's dealing with. And it's strictly business that's like, hey, it's challenging. They're pushing back, and I don't want to lose, which makes me want to go at this even more. I'm hungrier to even try to get this even more because it's an obstacle that they don't think I can overcome, or they're making it harder for me. You don't think he thinks like that, just as a businessman that's worth $80 billion?
I think that, I know that he loves those challenges and stuff, but when things are outside of your control and you're the face of what's going on, that can be annoying. And when you go from talking with people to now talking with consultants, and things move to a snail pace, and it could potentially disrupt the 2031 timeline, that's annoying. And so, again, he's not going to come out and say it. I had to ask the question in that setting. I'm just going to ask it. But I know the real, and he'll give you a nibble, right? He'll give you a nibble.
Sure.
But we just heard the team president in the last 2 weeks say, there's times where I'm very frustrated with what's going on. So here's a little bit more from Greg Penner. Hey, the land from Colorado Department of Transportation, has that been purchased?
We're in, there's a two-step process there, but that's all basic. It's all done. So there's no questions or issues with that getting complete.
Okay, so that's done. That, I think, for a lot of us was news today. And so the CDOT stuff is done.
Yep.
The SRM concrete stuff is done. And now it's like, hey, Denver Water, right? I mean, there's that whole Denver Water thing. Greg was asked about working with Denver Water.
Denver Water serves obviously a critical function for the city, and so it's important that their operations are seamless and uninterrupted. And anytime you're moving operations and moving to several locations, it's complex, and so we've got to, we're doing everything we can to support them so that we can make that move, help them make that move on a timely basis.
That's still the tricky one here. It's the emergency center for Denver Water.
Mm-hmm.
Denver Water and the Broncos were on the same page of where this puppy was going to go. It was going to go right in the area of parking lot M of the Broncos' current stadium site.
And both agreed on that. Like, hey,
Yes.
this is the destination where we want to be. Cool.
Yes, and this was actually put out months ago to season ticket holders who have that parking lot of like, parking lot M is done. It's done. So that was behind the scenes. But then the community comes out and says, we don't want this. This is not, this is our backyard and da-da-da-da. And now there's, the consultants involved. And so that is still an issue. So as some of these fires have been going out, right, CDOT, SRM Concrete, there's still that Denver water issue. And I think, and no one asked it, and I didn't get a chance to burn my questions, but like, what's the single biggest hurdle left in this process? And I bet if he were to answer that, it would be that site, that emergency site.
So the emergency site, is it because they need to get it moved in a timely manner, or they're just struggling to get it moved at all? Because what it seems like, it's just like how he sounded, just we can get it moved, but I want it moved now. Right? 2031.
Right.
Which could be something that gets pushed back or is pushed up if you can't get it done at that site, the emergency site, moved in time for 2031.
Yeah, that has potential to push back. the stadium timeline. And I asked them, is the question in here, guys? Is the question in here with the Rube Goldberg stuff, or do we know? Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm setting it up the right way. So I asked Greg, I said, hey, a couple months ago, the Denver Post used the analogy of a Rube Goldberg. And I know most of you guys know this or have heard us talk about it. Rube Goldberg, it's one of those complicated systems where it's got a million different things involved and they all kind of work together. It's dominoes falling that ultimately knocks a ball down a track, and the ball goes down the track and spins through, a cylinder, then hits this other thing, and a skateboard releases and all this stuff. I said, was that a fair analogy? And I quoted Councilwoman Torres, who was quoted in the Post saying the complexity, it's her district, both sites, it's her district. I said, she said the complexity of this is smacking you guys in the face. Is the Rube Goldberg analogy appropriate? And is the 2031 deadline potentially in jeopardy? And this is what Greg Penner said.
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy, and I think everybody involved in the process has the intent to do the right thing, is trying to do the right thing, but it's a lot of moving pieces and it is complex. Our focus is squarely on the 2031 opening and trying to get that done, but it's not going to be easy.
Okay.
Damn.
So that last part, our focus. Now he said other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Everyone thinks they're doing the right thing here. Everyone wants to do the right thing, right? And you think of the Councilwoman Torres, right? She is trying to represent her district and what she's hearing from the feedback of her district. So she's not representing the Broncos. She's representing those people. But that could be in conflict with what the Broncos want in the timely manner that they want it and all this stuff. But when he says, our focus is strictly on the 2031 deadline, but it's going to be tough.
So what does that tell you? Like, do you truly think that this is going to get done by 2031?
I don't.
No?
I don't.
And so he knows that Greg may already know that, but of course he's not going to say that.
No.
But he's kind of saying it in his own way by saying it's going to be tough
It's going to be tough.
Damn near impossible because of all these other obstacles that he's having to go through just to get it done before 2031 or on 2031.
Yeah, it's that I think is an authentic finish to a question. It's going to be tough.
Okay, Z, so you don't think it's going to get done by 2031?
I don't.
You have a businessman that has a deadline, that said it, that he has a deadline because he wants it done by 2031. Do you feel like they're going to still, Greg Penner is going to stay with the Burnham Yard, preferred site, or
that's a really good question.
He's going to move to Lone Tree?
No, so man, I know that I have said in the past that billionaires don't let other people push around their deadlines.
Yes.
And if the other site is plug and play, and this is thorny, and you can still do something with this, condominiums, what have you, restaurants, bar, you can still do all that and still build in Lone Tree. I think they are determined to build in Burnham Yard. Determined. And I think that ultimately will supersede the importance of the deadline. With construction, deadlines get pushed back. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way that construction works, And you can find, instances where crews working through the night and stuff, and maybe they even finish early. but it's more oftentimes than not. I would say 2 out of every 3 construction projects have a tendency to be behind as opposed to being ahead. And this is, they haven't removed the preferred site label off this. We haven't seen the renderings of this yet. So, and then I know you know this to be true, but once they get all that stuff done and it becomes the official site and every parcel of land has been purchased and which hasn't happened yet, still today hasn't happened yet. And he's saying that the Rube Goldberg analogy is appropriate that was used 2 months ago. Once all that gets done, who comes in? You remember?
Go ahead and say it. I remember.
The environment. The environment's around us, but the environmentalists have to come in and clean it.
They have to clean it, yeah.
And then you got to build it. I mean, so if I had to guess, the 2031 deadline will get pushed back, but the importance of keeping it in Denver and all the work that they've done, again, that will be the most important thing, not the deadline. And
well, then how the hell are we supposed to have the World Cup?
It's not coming.
The WWE SmackDown, Final Four, those are coming at some point.
Yeah, those are coming.
But the World Cup one,
the draft,
was
I think,
big.
is
The
coming.
draft.
Yeah, I think all that's coming. Super Bowl is coming. I think all that is going to happen for Denver, Colorado. Do I think it's going to be open with the information that I have now? I don't. But that's, okay. I mean,
but you know
we'll
what?
see.
I'm glad that you at least said that they're going to keep it there. That Greg Penner, he's a reasonable businessman. He's like, I understand that there's a lot that goes into this. As long as we're moving in the right direction and we can get this done, I do understand that this is about construction and things are not going to always be done on time. And maybe it is 2032 that it's up and running. But I want it here in Denver, and that's what I want to hear, that it stays there in the heart of Denver, and everybody's going to love Greg Penner and Kerry Penner for doing that. Being patient so that it can still stay in the heart of Denver.
All right, we'll get to more of that Greg Penner audio just a little bit later in today's show. He was asked about the Colorado Rockies and the 40% purchase and what's their role. We'll get to some of that. He was also asked about PSLs, personal seat license. We'll also get to that. You're not going to want to miss it. In the meantime, though, the NBA itself still letting us know what they think of the Denver Nuggets in their own way, and we'll pass along the details on that coming up next.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery and Monarch Construction and Roofing. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, Broncos country? It's Phillip Lindsay here. Football season is back in action, but knee, shoulder, or back pain can bench you quickly. Don't sit on the sidelines. Go see the team at Regen RX in Denver. They specialize in game-changing PRP and regenerative stem cell therapy to repair the damaged tissues, tackle inflammation, and sideline chronic aches. Stop playing defense against joint pain. You need to give my friends at Regen RX a call today at 303-630-9770, or you can visit them online at regenrx.co. Again, that's regenrx.co. Guys, get yourself back in the game. Go see my friends at RegenRx today.
Hey, Colorado, do you hear that? Not really? That's the sound of your neighbor Gary mowing his lawn at 6 a.m. with his new electric lawn equipment. Gary got 30% off with a statewide discount on all new electric lawnmowers, trimmers, and leaf blowers. Don't sleep on this great deal. Statewide discount only through the end of 2026. Learn more at simplestepsbetterair.org. Again, that's simplestepsbetterair.org.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
A small roof problem today can become a major expense tomorrow. Colorado hail, wind, and heavy snow can turn minor damage into costly repairs. Don't wait until it's too late. Trust Colorado's best roofing for honest inspections, dependable repairs, and reliable service. Schedule your free roof inspection today at roofingcolorado.com.
Most home sellers get one offer. It's somewhere between lowball and not good enough. Orchard changes that. With Orchard's new Orchard Offers, you don't just get one offer. You get multiple cash offers from serious investors all competing for your home. That's right. Make investors compete with Orchard's cash offer marketplace. Here's how it works. You work with an Orchard agent who submits your home to their exclusive network of hundreds of local cash buyers. They come to you with offers. You review them all and pick the best one on your terms. So you don't have to settle on one offer or worry about leaving money on the table. You see every offer side by side. That's how you know you're getting top dollar. Orchard Offers means no repairs, no showings, no drawn-out process. Before you accept any offer, see them all first. Get a free home valuation and see your offers today with Orchard Offers. Go to Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Home Improvements. For an 8% scheduling incentive and a special financing rate of 0% APR with 72 equal monthly payments, go to DRHI.com. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors. Finished basements, windows, and doors. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. Here's what I love about my guys at Natural Tree Care and Recycling. 3 years, and they've never let me down. Not once. Aaron, the owner, is a Colorado native. They're locally owned, and he treats your property like it's his own. They've protected my trees throughout this drought. They've kept everything looking beautiful. No job too big or too small. So if you want someone you can actually trust with your trees, go to naturaltreerecycle.com. That's naturaltreerecycle.com, or call them at 303-803-3850 and tell them Zach sent you.
Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
As Coloradans, we know how important it is to protect our homes. And unfortunately, wildfires are a reality here. It's Zach, and that's why I trust 50-80 Exteriors, a 2-time President's Club winner offering Class A fire-rated products designed to help protect your home. Thinking about upgrading your outdoor living space? Now's the time. Purchase a new deck during the month of August and get free solar railing lights. No payments and no interest until 2027 for qualified buyers. 50-80 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Biondino Law Firm.
Want to partake in our contests? Check out the rules at DenverSports.com. Every day at 3:30, the drive comes off the top rope to hit you with a 1, 2, 3.
Finally, the Rock has come back to Denver.
Tape your wrists, stretch your spandex, and oil your hair. Here's Zach and Phil with today's 3 count on the drive.
All right, let's come off the top rope with it! All righty.
You held that kind of long there. Tuesday,
for a
baby.
Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah, typically that's like a Thursday hold,
Yeah.
you know. Hey, the Denver Nuggets, I said going into the break that the league is still letting us know what they think about the Nuggets. And I'll tell you what that is here in the 3 count, brought to you by our friends at Homestrong, Colorado's foundation repair and concrete experts. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong. Hey, the Nuggets will be featured on NBA's special day, Christmas. Now, we know the NFL sort of encroached on this a little bit, but they will take on the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco on Christmas night. The rest of the Christmas Day lineup is Spurs Knicks, Heat Celtics, Sixers Lakers.
Damn.
Thunder Wolves.
Some heat.
And then the Denver Nuggets finishing things up in Golden State. And they also will kick off the NBA season, all right, opening day on the road at the Oklahoma City Thunder on ESPN. How about that?
Good. Let's see what this team can do this year. I want to win another championship. I want the championship aspirations, and you have to be able to beat the Thunder in order to do that. It's going to be a fun first game. And then, of course, for Christmas, the luxury that we have, right? We are so spoiled as fans. The Denver Broncos are going to be playing during Christmas.
That's right.
Santa Claus came early for that. Then you have the Nuggets playing late at night, 8 o'clock to start. Like, what more do you want? Are you not entertained? I love this. I get to open presents, Santa Claus. Hopefully I'm good enough to get some presents by Santa Claus. Okay, have a little bit of food, watch the football game, maybe take a nap, and then watch the Nuggets play. And hopefully the Nuggets have everybody still intact.
Yeah.
All right, they're going and they're going through it all right now. But if they have the core there, they should be able to win some games, and it should be a fun night.
Do you remember what happened this past year on Christmas?
It was against the Wolves. Was it? Was it not?
It was the Wolves. Good
Come on,
memory.
Now, see, I got a memory like an elephant.
Well, we'll see. You got yours
Jokic
one like
went-
one too.
Yeah, look.
What happened
Jokic
there?
went crazy. Jokic
did.
went crazy. Now I don't remember the stat line, so you have to help me with that. But
Yeah.
Jokic went crazy and they won the game.
Anyone behind the glass remember what Nikola Jokic did on Christmas Day 2025?
Didn't he go for like 52 or something like that?
Dante, any guess? It was a 60-point triple-double.
Damn.
Like, are you kidding me? It's one of the greatest statistical games in the history of NBA basketball.
60-point triple-double, and they won in overtime.
They did. And unfortunately, it happened so late at night that most of the country didn't get to see it. And, Nuggets being featured on Christmas Day, being featured in the season opener on ESPN against Oklahoma City. So it's the league still acknowledging this is a player. As currently constructed, they are. This is still a really good basketball team.
Want to win a bunch of games.
Championship level team, I have my doubts, but still really good and good enough for the league to shine a spotlight on them on 2 of their most important days of the year. Next, you got something?
No, I was going to ask you. Sometimes you have good memory. Who did the Nuggets play at the first game of the year, opening day?
The Golden State Warriors.
Golden State Warriors. I just had to see if you knew that.
What happened that game?
Steph Curry went crazy and they won that game.
He wasn't the only person that went crazy.
Jimmy Buckets was available.
Maybe he was, but I don't remember that. But I remember Aaron Gordon went for 50 points.
Oh, Aaron, yes.
He missed like
AG.
2 shots. That was opening. That might have gone to overtime. I forget.
It
but
did. It did.
Did it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next in the 3 count.
1, 2.
Hey, the Broncos and Seahawks matchup just got a little bit more interesting. Seattle will wear their throwback jerseys, and the Broncos will also wear their throwback jerseys, and they'll both wear their home throwback jerseys. If you've seen the mock-ups of this, you already know this is going to be a visual banger when Seattle and Denver lock horns.
This is going to be glorious, and it's going to be here at home for us. It's going to be a fun game, and I'll tell you this, man. It's blue on orange, right? But it's orange on blue crime because the Denver Broncos are going to find a way to win and beat the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle's going to be tough this year.
Oh, well,
They're gonna be
you
tough.
think?
Oh, Z.
Wait, hold on a second. The reigning Super Bowl champions are going to be tough
But you
this
have
year?
to remember, they're missing.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Kenneth Walker III's out the door. He's with the Chiefs. Somebody may say, well, hey, the Super Bowl MVP is not there. They got a young man over there that's doing well. You still have a quarterback that did really well this year. It's going to be a fun game.
And they drafted homeboy in the first round from Notre Dame.
Yes.
The secondary back, not Love, but
Price.
Price. Jadarian? Is it Jadarian?
Jadarian?
Yeah, Jadarian Price. That's going to be that's a heavyweight fight. And really a fight that should have been Super Bowl 60.
What should have been.
What should have been? What could have been?
Great. What could have been.
Next in the 3 count.
1, 2, 3.
All right. We didn't talk about this, and it went viral. Did you see the Bills open up their new stadium for a scrimmage last weekend?
Come on,
it went viral for all the wrong
You know I did.
reasons. There are multiple pictures of seats with obstructed views, people complaining the jumbotrons are too small.
The jerseys.
Well, that's a whole nother. That's a whole. I don't know what they're doing there. What do you make? Big deal, or is this happen more than we realize?
It happens more than we realize. I've been to a couple stadiums where you're looking up and you're looking up at the stands, the fans are there, and you're like, I know that fan can't see. I know he can't see this touchdown be scored on him. So it happens in every single stadium. But I do know that the Bills are addressing it, so it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with that. It's hard to do when you're building this multi-million-dollar stadium or billion-dollar stadium. There's going to be some mess-ups. You just hope that you're not the fan that has to sit there. And if you are, you're pissed off.
You guys behind the glass, big deal, little deal, Buffalo Bills, the obstructed view seats, Drew?
I would say little deal. I think way more is being made out of it than it's probably worth it. Because I've only seen like 2 pictures, the 2 different views with the obstructed sites. We're talking about, 75,000 seat stadium?
Yeah.
A couple things. They'll get it fixed. It'll be fine. Just everything kind of getting blown out of proportion, I think, with this one.
Dante?
Yeah, I think the same thing, where it's every stadium has obstructed views. Yeah, you see pictures go viral from USC games where it's like you can't even see half the field. These just have like a little railing in the way or something like that. I think people just like to complain, and it caught on Twitter, and from there it just kind of grew.
Yeah.
PSLs. You might be paying for that seat, right? I'd be pissed off. I'd be one of those fans that's like, I'm paying a lot of money for this seat, and I can't see a game.
But weren't they top-level seats? Like, are you paying a PSL to have season tickets in the 300 level or 500 level, whatever
They
it is?
still have to pay a PSL, but it's like at a really, really reduced number. It's like, $500 to $1,000 for PSLs at the top, as it probably will be here. We'll get to the PSL conversation.
That's groceries, though. $500? That's groceries for you for a week.
For
I'd
sure.
be pissed off.
For sure. $500 grocery bill, huh?
Man, Z.
You guys
$4.93.
A Whole Foods?
Whole Foods.
God.
Wait, are you serious?
I'm not playing. I'm not
Family
playing.
of 4.
Family of 4. My wife likes to double click on things probably, so we got like 2 milks in there.
Oh my gosh.
A bunch of yogurts.
Quick house cleaning thing. It wasn't a 60-point triple-double on Christmas. It was a 56-point, 16 rebound, 15 assists game with 2 blocks from the Joker on Christmas Day last year. It was an overtime W over Minnesota, 142 to 138. He did have a 60-point triple-double before, and I just misremembered it in my head, though. Okay. Shifting gears here. We'll hear a little bit more from Greg Penner. He was asked about personal seat license. We'll play his response for you next.
Catch up on everything happening at DenverSports.com. Weeknights from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. with Denver Sports Tonight. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan. DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app. Injury Insights, powered by Ramos Law. Taking a look at the latest sports injuries in Colorado and beyond. Here's Dr. Joseph Ramos with Zach By.
All right, Dr. Ramos, tough injury news last week for the Denver Broncos defensive lineman Matt Henningsen, tearing his Achilles tendon, 365 days since the last time he tore the other Achilles tendon. Brutal news here.
Brutal news. Unbelievable, right, Zach? I mean, what are the odds that Sean Kellogg tear the opposite Achilles now, right? Crazy.
Doctor, do you think that one of the tears had to do with what happened to the other?
Yeah, there's no doubt, Zach. The medical literature on this shows that about 10% of athletes who tear one Achilles will tear the other. So I was not surprised when I heard this. He had a 1 in 10 chance. And the reason is because he's been rehabbing that other Achilles, and his good Achilles, which is now his bad Achilles, has been taking the brunt of that rehab this entire time, getting micro tears, giving some underlying breakdowns. Now he tries to go full bore, but the Achilles that was healthy, that he'd been overusing, now has been compromised.
Yeah, I feel bad. I'm out here every day. He was having a really good camp. What does the recovery timeline and possible return to a Denver Bronco field look like for Matt Henningsen?
Well, the short answer to that is you're not seeing him back this year. The long answer to that is a lot of that's going to depend upon things like genetics. What's his blood flow to his tendons? How are his other tissues? Is he a person with genetically tight tendons to begin with? And his rehab's going to be longer and different now too. He's going to, you rehab Achilles for symmetry, and now he's got to rehab a freshly injured Achilles against one that was still most likely recovering. He's not going to be back this year. This is a devastating loss, man. I'm really sad for Matt Hens.
Ramos Law. What makes us different makes us better.
Summer weather can be full of surprises. If your home has been affected by the recent storms, trust a local professional roofer with decades of combined experience. Golden Spike Roofing is here for all your repair or roof replacement needs. Call today for a free inspection and estimate for roofing done right down to the last nail.
Call Golden Spike Roofing when your roof needs a fix. 303-942-1386. Golden Spike Roofing.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey Denver, Zach here. Need foundation repair, waterproofing, crawl space repair, egress windows, or concrete work? Trust Homestrong to get it done. They can even turn your crawl space into a finished basement in weeks. Visit buildhomestrong.com. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
It's Training Camp 2026, Unfinished Business. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, powered by AeroSeal Colorado.
Snoop Dogg, dog. There we go.
Never goes out of style. Like great art never goes out of style.
Oh.
It's a pair of blue jeans, man. All right, shifting gears here. Greg Penner speaking to the local media. Appreciate that he did that. All right, we heard a lot from Greg. We'll comb through the audio here throughout the afternoon. Already talked about a big chunk of it with the new stadium and the ongoings and some of the delays, potential delays of the 2031 deadline. You knew the question was going to come up. All right. Greg Penner was asked about personal seat license for the first time.
We brought that up a year ago, Z. People were upset with us. And you were kind of letting everybody know, like, hey, look, I'm cautioning everybody.
Yes.
That this is getting ready to happen.
Yes.
Do you like it? Probably not. Is it going to happen because it's happened around the NFL multiple times? A handful, actually more than half the NFL teams do it? Yes. And Z, what happened, man? What my man say? Did he give us any good information? Are the fans going to love him or are they going to be upset for a little while?
Well, it's a gray area.
Okay.
Because this was the answer when Greg Penner earlier today was asked about personal seat license as it relates to the Denver Broncos' new stadium.
It's the furthest thing from our minds right now. It's just we're so focused on, we've got so many steps before that. As I just mentioned, I mean, it's still a preferred site, but it's not finalized that we're going to be in that location. Obviously, that's where we really want to be. So really, we haven't even gotten the PSLs yet. Our season ticket holders are vital to our organization, and we're going to keep them informed every step of the way once we get there.
What do you make of it?
Where's more yet? I need it. I need the lie detector test. I need to see if it's determined. And the lie detector determined that was a lie, ZB. Oh, my God, you cheated on me. Z, they're going to do the personal seat licenses because it makes sense for the businessman to continue to make money. Everybody else, and you brought this up multiple times, everybody else is doing it in the NFL. Why would he not with this brand new stadium? Now, I don't like it. Okay, the man is a billionaire. $80 billion my man has in his pocket. I'm pocket watching. He doesn't need us, common folk, to go ahead and chip in. But is it part of the game? Is it something that can happen? Is it something that's going to probably happen? Of course. It sucks for those guys and those people, those families that don't want to pay for the personal seat licenses, and now they're going to have to give their tickets up, right? Their season tickets to somebody else because they don't want to pay that bill. What do you think, ZB? What do you think?
There's still so much here, and I know we did definitely the first show in our market to present this conversation piece over a year ago, and saying this is coming. You guys need to prepare yourselves, especially if you are a season ticket holder. You need to prepare yourself. And man, I was just talking with someone. I told you the story. Went up to Mount Falcon with my mom who was visiting.
Yeah,
and. We stopped at this awesome place on the way home called the Sit and Bull, and side of the road place, like built almost into the mountain. And we sat with these strangers who were super kind to us, these local, friends of ours now. And we sat down with them for 90 minutes, and they were season ticket holders. And the one woman, I would say she is probably in her late 50s, early 60s.
Okay.
They have seats in the 100 level.
Wow.
And she said, how much do you think the PSL will cost for our two seats? And she told me what row and what section. And I said,
those are great seats, man.
They are. And I said, just judging by some of the other price points that I've seen around the NFL, you're probably looking at $8,000 per seat. $8,000 to $10,000
no,
per seat.
Your buddy has tickets too. I don't know where he's
in
located.
Buffalo, lower section, good seats. 20 rows up.
And what does he pay?
In the 100 level, he had to pay $8,000 a piece for his two seats. So you're writing a check. It's a one-time check for $16,000 for the rights to pay for the games for the season. And I know, look, we've talked about this on and off for over a year. It doesn't hit your ears right. It doesn't sound natural because it's not. But it is, unfortunately, the way of the world right now. And where the Broncos, from a perception standpoint, and by the way, that dear woman I was with on Saturday, that they said we're out.
So they're not going to do it anymore.
They said these have been in our family for years and years and years and years. But if they are going to want to check for our two seats for $20,000 for the rights to turn around and pay for the season tickets, she said we're not going to be able to do that. And look, I like you, I come from the most humble background that you can think of, right? Raised by a single mom. We were free and reduced lunch. Me and my brother paid $0.25 for lunch, and it was embarrassing, sometimes growing up and not having, some of the stuff that, other kids at school had. So my perspective as a person comes from that place. That is my frame of reference. And my heart breaks for that woman. And what I will predict, thousands of season ticket holders that will have to bow out, and what it's going to do, the people that it will price out the most are long-standing Denver Broncos season ticket holders who, through the years,
but see, that's how those are the rowdy ones.
I get it.
Those are the ones that are creating the atmosphere.
I get it.
That makes people hate coming here.
That Tony Romo said that this is the loudest environment we've been in all year long.
Man, Z, I mean, it was multiple games where you couldn't hear the broadcasting crew.
Yep.
Like literally, you're just hearing just like boom, 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 boom. You're gonna lose fans like that. Now, not all of them, But you're going to lose fans like that because they can't pay for those seats. And you're going to end up having, a quieter environment.
You'll
Pass
hear
the tartar. I don't
well,
want
yeah,
that.
yeah. And you'll hear it called like a wine and cheese crowd. It's going to be a lot of corporate boxes. It's going to be a lot of corporate tickets. And I've always said with having these conversations, man, you'll never hear me tell you or anybody else that it's okay. I'm not here to say that. All right. But I am here to say there is a 2-word phrase that applies to this conversation. And it's industry standard. It has become industry standard in the NFL uniquely.
But okay, I'm putting you on the spot. Make it a little dicey for you. Should Greg Penner pay for the seat licenses, or should he go
Should
ahead?
he have his season ticket holders pay?
Yes. Just you, right? You. Because no matter what, it's going to happen. It is what it is. The man has to make money. It's a business decision. Every other team seems like they're doing it. But it's one of them dicey things. Like, for me, I don't think the fans should have to pay for personal seat licenses when you have the richest owner in the NFL, Z.
This is a layered conversation. For me, I would like to think if I was in that position and I was so wealthy that I owned a football team, that I was so wealthy that the gap between me and the next wealthiest owner, which is Tepper in Carolina, with $18 billion, and I'm worth $80. Now, by the way, when I say I'm worth $80, I'm saying Greg's worth $80, right? And his family's worth $80. That doesn't mean they have.
Cat's out the bag. You're worth $80.
It doesn't mean, and I know how this is going to sound. It's so embarrassing, but I'm going to say it anyway. It doesn't mean they're $80 billion in liquid.
Yeah.
Right? They're
like,
worth that.
Exactly.
Everything added up. I'm not trying to get anyone to feel sorry for Greg, okay? So, but I had to say that.
Like,
it's
look,
not like there's $80 billion in the bank.
It's not in the paint, right? It's just like that cash just sitting there.
And so, I would like to think that, because when I'm around people in my own life that I know could use some help, and they're around me and we're doing something together, I'm going to try to take care of whatever I can take care of within reason.
Yeah.
Within reason. So I would like to think if I was in that position and I could with ease do it, that I would do it. But when we have these conversations, we're leaving out one really, really important dynamic that could be just as meaningful. And we'll get to it next.
Want real Broncos talk? Cecil Lammey and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue Today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue Today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. On behalf of my friends at American Financing, let's do some honest math. The interest rate on your credit cards, 20% or more. Your mortgage rate, much lower. So why are you sending hundreds of dollars a month to credit card companies when your home's equity could wipe out that debt? That's exactly what American Financing helps homeowners do. And they're doing it every single day for people just like you. Consolidate, collaborate, conquer. The average customer saves around $800 a month, and you may delay 2 mortgage payments and may close in as fast as 10 days. American Financing's salary-based mortgage consultants are licensed in all 50 states. No upfront fees, no obligation. Stop financing your past and start funding your future. Call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
There are so many out-of-state roofing companies and roofing companies claiming to be locally owned, yet owned by out-of-state private equity firms.
Denver Roof Pros is the real deal. We are truly locally owned and operate right out of Denver.
We've been serving the Front Range and the Eastern Plains from Fort Collins to Colorado Springs for 10 years.
Choose local. Choose DenverRoofPros.com.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof roof like the Denver Roof Pros.
In Colorado, relationships matter. That's why professional contractors across the Front Range choose Western Pacific for doors and millwork. For 35 years, this family-owned, locally operated supplier has delivered quality products, next-day delivery, and quick will-call service that keeps builders on schedule. From new construction to remodels, their experienced team is committed to helping contractors succeed. Visit GoWestPack.com. Western Pacific, local ownership, professional expertise built for Colorado contractors.
Most families get their financial advice in pieces. A financial advisor here, a CPA there, an estate attorney somewhere else. Everyone means well, but nobody's talking to each other, and those gaps can work against you. Trajan Wealth's family office brings wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning together, not as separate conversations, but as one coordinated system built around your life, your goals, and the people who matter most. Ours is a true family office, not one that refers you out because it's convenient. This kind of dedicated collaboration used to require a 7-figure net worth, but here's the game changer. Trajan kicked that door open. Trajan advisors are fiduciaries, always obligated, always honored to act in your best interest. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax.
Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealership since 1975 in Boulder, has a championship-level lineup ready for you to test drive and take home today. They currently have specials on both the BMW X3 and X5 models. The BMW X3 model is a luxury compact SUV that offers balanced handling and a powertrain variety. The BMW X5 model is a high-performance powerhouse luxury model that offers you a thrilling driving experience. They also have a great pre-owned BMW lineup as well. Schedule your test drive today. Go to GebhardtBMW.com.
Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealership since 1975. Most small business break-ins happen between 2 and 5 a.m. The owner finds out when they unlock the door at 7. Pull footage from a consumer system and you get a silhouette in a hoodie. Nothing identifiable. Vantage installs cameras that read a face in total darkness. And they don't stop at cameras. Access control, network, intercom, cabling, AV. One company, one number. Ready to invest in real security for your business or property? Call Vantage at 720-366-7759 or visit business.vssicolorado.com today.
It's the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Powered by Regen RX. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay. It's Training Camp 2026. Unfinished business. Here's The Drive with
So really, we haven't even gotten the PSLs yet. Our season ticket holders are vital to our organization, and we're going to keep them informed every step of the way once we get there.
That's what Denver Broncos owner Greg Penner said just a few hours ago to some local media members in a press conference at the new facility. I really like that Greg spoke. We're still gathering information. This is still really, from the big picture, we're still in the first window of time of this ownership group, right? And now the years are stacking up a bit. I mean, this is maybe their 4th year, something like that.
Going into their 4th.
Yeah. And so the personal seat license, you knew it was going to come up today. You just heard his response. It's the furthest thing from our mind. We're still dealing with a label of preferred site for this stadium that is years and years away from being completed, let alone, the personal seat license. It's going to happen.
So it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. I said that over a year ago. It's going to happen, okay? Now, I understand Mr. Greg Penner is, kind of playing the game here. And look, he's got his own games to play, right? And it probably would be inappropriate to come out and confirm that you're going to have personal seat license for a building that doesn't even have renderings yet and isn't even an official site. So, yeah, that was probably the right approach.
We're skipping steps, Z. We're skipping steps.
But I'm just telling you guys, years and years in advance, personal seat license are coming, okay? And there's two things, and, the one we've talked about repeatedly. This ownership group is not asking the taxpayers to contribute to the stadium. That is not the same thing that's happening around the country. So Buffalo is... Yeah, they're having PSLs for the first time with their new stadium that they just, did a little preview of this past weekend. But they also asked the taxpayers to contribute as well. So, like, my mom hasn't been to a Buffalo Bills game in 4 decades. She has no interest in going, but a little piece is going to come out of her that's going to go, right? To the tune of, by the way, taxpayers in New York, $850 million. That was their contribution. This stadium is $2.2 billion. $850 million of that. So, I mean, I'm not super good at math, but I don't know. We're approaching like 40% of it, or whatever it is, whatever the exact percentage.
From the fans.
Yeah. So the taxpayers in Erie County there contributed around $250 million to the stadium. The rest of New York State paid the remaining $600 million. This ownership group is not asking the taxpayers to contribute. They are asking the hardcore fans, who are the biggest supporters of the Broncos, to help them
fork up some money,
shoulder the burden of a new stadium that's going to be like that thing in Buffalo is $2.2 billion. This is going to be $4 billion, $5 billion.
The fact that you said shoulder the burden, it's like this man, Greg Penner, is worth $80 billion. There's no burden there. He's going to be just fine. He just coughed up $55 million. If you guys haven't heard, for the concrete situation.
SRM Concrete, the largest parcel of land there.
And what did they buy it for to start that land, that piece of land?
SRM Concrete bought it 5 years ago for $5.5 million and just sold it for $55 million.
$55 million. $55 million coming out of Greg Penner's pocket. You think he's losing sleep? My man is eating a great breakfast and doesn't care because he knows what's getting ready to happen when he builds this new stadium. He's going to make so much money.
Okay. I agree with you.
All right.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
But here's what else deserves to be mentioned in this conversation, is that Greg Penner is a new member of a really exclusive club. He is a new NFL owner. He has not been around for decades like, the Hunt family or the fill in the blank. Like, he's new. And I think how you come across or are perceived within that exclusive club of owners could be important to Greg and Kerry Penner. Here's what I'm saying.
Yeah, what are you getting at?
If you have every stadium that is being built here in recent decades do PSLs and the Denver Broncos ownership group says we're not doing it, you are disrupting a precedent that has been set in the NFL, and it could be I'm saying just a perceived perception for the next stadium, because someone else is going to build a stadium in the NFL in the next 4 to 5 years as well, right? And if PSLs have just been the industry standard, new build after new build after new build, and the Broncos say, no, we're good, we're rich enough, that's for those other NFL franchises, and then fill in the blank wants to do a new stadium, say Arizona, and, the Bidwells, the owners there, are saying, we're going to do PSLs, and the members of that community are going, wait a second, the Broncos, you guys are billionaires, the Broncos just built, and they didn't do PSLs. You don't have to. You want to. And I think that when
this is when everybody has a decision to make, though. This is where it's like you have to walk on your own. And if you're Greg Penner, it's like, yeah, we're in this little brotherhood, if you want to call it that, but I want to do things my way when it comes to my facilities, my stadium. This is my team.
But to think that couldn't play a role is probably naive.
I'm with you. I mean, you had the owners upset that one guy gave Deshaun Watson all that money, Z.
Good point of reference, Phil.
Thank you. Shout out DG. DG put that in my ear. I had to put that. I can't just take all credit.
You should have, dude. That's his job. He's trying to support you as a host.
I have to, because he was doing that, Z. But it's something like that.
Yes.
It's something like that where it's like, hey, like, I understand that you're trying to keep everybody together and everybody happy, but sometimes you got to walk on your own, and Greg Penner can do that. And it's not a flex. It's like, this is what I want to do for my state for these fans that deserve for me to pay for this if he decides to do that, which he probably will have these PSLs, personal seat licenses.
It's coming, and I understand. Like, and again, you'll never hear me say, "Man, Phil, this is why you shouldn't think like that. This is why you shouldn't feel that way." Like, dude, you sound like most people, but to think like there'll be a phrase, "We have a way of doing things." Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
Like that. We have a way of doing things.
This is how we do things.
And you're going rogue. There's only 32 of us. You're messing it up for the next build. Again, not here to say what's right and what's wrong, but to think that couldn't play a role in the calculus of going down the personal seat license road, again, I would say is naive. Dante, you got something there behind the glass there?
Yeah, some good text on the RamosLaw.com text line here. One saying the Broncos are worth way more than what they paid to buy the team. Why do they need the extra $300 million? Another one asking Phil. Phil always encourages the players to get their money, and now he wants the fans to pay PSLs.
I don't want the fans to pay PSL.
No.
It's coming.
I think the different way of phrasing that is you want all the players to get their money, and now you don't want the owners to get their money.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I
maybe.
mean, the owners already have a bunch of money. All right, like they're still trying to poop on the players.
But in reality, and I'm just going to be real, like I don't think the owners have a bunch of money anyway. I don't think that's a good enough reason in actuality, in real life when it comes to like making these decisions. These billionaires don't become billionaires because they give away money.
Oh, for sure, Z. But also, it's like once you get to a point where you have $1 billion, in this case for Greg Penner, you have $80 billion. What are you going to do with that? You're not taking it to the grave with you.
No.
It's just sitting there at some point. You're building it for your family, right? It's a legacy thing at some point. You paying for personal seat licenses, it is not going to mess your morning up. It is not going to mess your afternoon, and damn sure not going to mess your night of sleep up.
But hold on a second. Just think about it this way.
I'm all ears, baby. I got these big ears. I'm all ears.
What if you have? Oh, I'm not. Oh. See, like it's one of these things where I'm just trying to play devil's advocate and look at the other opposing viewpoint here. Because just to reinforce what I said in the previous segment, I would like to think if I was in that position, I would take care of all of it. I would like to think. Okay. I don't know it because I'm not walking in those shoes. And sometimes when you walk in those shoes, your frame of reference changes and
it's like anything else.
Right.
We talk about Jokic. Jokic used to walk into the stadium
with sweats.
It was sweats on.
And now it's Armani suits and $20,000 watches.
You change a little bit.
Things change.
Not a bad way. You just change.
Yeah. And dude, like,
I mean, Z, look at you.
I'm just saying.
In there, you had a slug bug. Now you got a Ferrari. Like, damn.
I'm just saying. I was gonna say, and this is what no one wants to hear. If you had $80 to your name, if I asked for 5 of your 80, you'd be like, I need that 80.
Yeah.
Right. And again, that's how maybe they're thinking of it. Of like, dude, we're not just gonna. This is not a freebie. We're already not asking the taxpayers. But you guys who desperately want to be there, that's who's going to have to pay. And again, I'm not here to say it's right. But here's what I do know. There's 5 teams in Major League Baseball that have PSLs. There's 4 NBA teams that have PSLs. There is 2 NHL teams that have PSLs. And then it's the NFL and the Falcons, Ravens, Bills, Panthers, Bears, Bengals, Browns, Packers, Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Rams, Raiders, Vikings, Giants, Jets, Eagles, Steelers, Niners, Seahawks, Titans all have PSLs.
That's 20 of them. See how fast I counted? That's 20 of them things.
It's industry standard for new builds.
Yeah.
It's coming. So.
Like Dion,
huh? That never really came, though.
In the making.
It's in the making.
Come on now.
It's a slow bake. It's a smoke. It's a smoker.
In Colorado Springs, working their tails off.
They're down in Colorado Springs.
They're down.
Look,
they're down in Colorado Springs, working their tails off to beat Georgia Tech this year. They're coming.
All right, our biggest takeaways from practice is next.
It's Training Camp 2026, Unfinished Business. Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth will kick things off starting at 6 a.m., powered by Applied Future Technologies. Then Dover and Cecil will react live to all the action until 2 p.m. Thanks to Denver Roof Pros and Biondino Law Firm. At 2, The Drive will recap the day thanks to AeroSeal Colorado. Stay locked into Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan and DenverSports.com for all the latest news and information during football season. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special both for you and your partner. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're the leader in treating ED in the area. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no 2 cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
When your joints hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, it can feel like there's only one option. Do your homework first. Remember, once a joint is replaced, there's no going back. Hey, it's Mike Evans. Before you schedule surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver relief to patients like you right here in Denver. They concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right in the spot that's actually causing the pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off on surgery, or in some cases, avoiding it altogether. And that's why it makes sense to explore every option before making a decision that can change your life. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion and know your options. A conversation and consultation are totally free. Call today, 303-900-8986, 303-900-8986, with locations in Aurora, Superior, Highlands Ranch, and the Springs. It's QC Kinetics.
There's nothing between a motorcyclist and the road, and when a careless driver causes a motorcycle crash, the results can be catastrophic. I'm Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm, and for nearly 50 years, my firm has been standing up for seriously injured riders across Colorado. We know these cases, we know how to win them, and we won't rest until we get you the maximum compensation you deserve. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call us today, the Wilhite Law Firm, 303-GOOD-LAW or WilhiteWins.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach By here. If your home's hot upstairs and cold downstairs, that's more than annoying. It's a sign your system's leaking air and wasting money. And with utility bills climbing, energy efficiency matters. That's why homeowners trust AeroSeal Colorado. Their innovative sealing technology boosts comfort, cuts energy use, and even gives you cleaner indoor air as a nice bonus. Customers love it. A 4.9 Google rating, and some folks practically write books after the job's done. AeroSealColorado.com. AeroSeal.com fixes what others can't even find. AeroSeal, comfort sealed.
Switching your account numbers is hard. Being forced to switch, even worse. That's why at Belco Credit Union, we want to pay you to switch. From June 1st to August 31st, we're offering a $300 bonus when you open a new checking account with a qualifying direct deposit of $500 or more. They changed your account number. You can change who you bank with. Go to belco.org/switch for full offer details. Insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility required. Conditions and restrictions apply. Belco. Banking for everyone.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here, and if you're over 50, there's a good chance you're dealing with an enlarged prostate. Waking up at night, weak stream, all of it. Here's the good news. PAE, prostate artery embolization, is minimally invasive, done through a tiny pinhole, and you're home the same day. Most men who have PAE don't experience any sexual side effects associated with conventional prostate surgery. At Colorado Advanced Endovascular, their experienced team offers specialized prostate treatment with near zero impact on sexual function. Lakewood location, personalized care. Visit coloradoae.com.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's brought to you by Fitness Gallery, selling the world's finest fitness equipment.
It's Training Camp 2026. Unfinished business. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, powered by AeroSeal Colorado.
Been a lot of reaction to this, as there always is.
This generates a lot of buzz.
A follow-up, just to follow up, we'll shift gears here, and then we'll get back to the Greg Penner stuff. But there is several of the same question on the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043, as well as our YouTube chat powered by Sean Ponda. The PSL is a one-time fee. So there's a question, hey, do I have to pay this every year? No, it's a one-time fee. All right. And you can, as I understand it, you can sell your seats to someone else, right? There is an avenue for you to actually benefit monetarily from this.
So, but if you sell your seats to somebody else, the next people, they don't have to pay that one-time fee, correct?
Correct. So if I pay, say just for easy math, if my PSL is $1,000, okay, my personal seat license, it's $1,000. I now own that seat, and say I then pay for the season tickets, right? Because that's why you pay the PSL, for the rights to pay for the season tickets. You can sell your tickets. I mean, over and over and over again and make money. You can even sell your PSL to someone else, and those are now their tickets.
Okay.
If you withdraw, say you do your PSL, you have them for 5 years. You're like, you want to know what? We don't go to games like we used to. We're struggling financially. I got laid off or what have you. We're out on Broncos season tickets, and you just withdraw. The seat goes back to the team, and they can resell the PSL, so they can sell it twice.
Yeah.
But again, there are ways that you could be able to, if you're able to do the PSL, there is ways to make your money back on those seats. But yes, it is just a one-time fee, and there are some instances, because there's this idea, because this is what I was talking to this woman this weekend in Indian Hills at the Sit and Bull, and she said, "Well, if I pay for that seat, if I pay for my PSL, then that's my seat. So when Taylor Swift comes into town, that should be my seat."
Yeah,
and it's
makes sense.
It's not going to work like that, though.
So it's just for football.
It's just for football. Now, there are some situations, and I don't know how it's going to work in Denver, where because if you buy a PSL, there are perks that come of okay, so Taylor Swift is coming, I get right of first refusal. I'm able to try to buy tickets. And if you don't, then other people can have them. But I think a good example, because they share the same venue, is MetLife, right? The Giants and the Jets play.
Yeah.
You pay for that PSL for Jets season for the right to pay for Jets season tickets. That doesn't get you anything with the Giants. That's a completely different entity. So it's a layered conversation. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I understand why it makes people upset. I do. But again,
it's just the society today too. It's tough for a lot of people. It just is.
It
right?
is.
Like,
yeah.
Everything has ramped up. Everything has increased from groceries to rents. And so, like, now it's like, hey, you're having to pay for this PSL just to pay for your season tickets.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
You know?
It is a lot. Now, I'll say this, too. I was just talking with our guy, Mighty Joe Young. He's got season tickets in Section 508. And so that's 50-yard line, but it's all the way up top. And I said, how much do you think you're going to have to pay for PSLs? Just gauging on him and, like, what he thinks it. He goes, I don't know, probably $5,000. I said, I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, I think for 500 level, it might be 1,000. You know, it might be 2,000. You sit in the 100 level and you're on the 50-yard line and you're 20 rows up, that could be 12,000, 14,000. But also, and I want to mention this too, there is a scenario where the Denver Broncos ownership has a unique sensitivity to being new, you know, in our market and ingratiating themselves to their community and our community, right? And they say, we know that we kind of have to do this because it is industry standard, and we know we're a part of this exclusive club, and we're going to piss other people off here by not doing PSLs, but we can sort of jerry-rig it. So we'll do PSLs, but we're going to make them much cheaper.
And that's something they definitely could do.
Even Buffalo, New York, they're going to be cheaper than Buffalo's. And this economically is a higher level of market, right? There's just more money in Denver than there is in Buffalo. That's in totality. There's rich people in Buffalo. There's poor people, right? So, but I'm saying if on paper you would think that whatever it was $8,000 for the Buffalo Bills Stadium, it's going to be $10,000 here. But not necessarily, because we don't know how they're going to navigate their way through this situation. So it may be, hey, we're going to do PSLs, everyone's going to chip in, but man, they're going to be the most affordable PSLs in the last decade, and we're acknowledging our level of wealth that you guys are hyper aware of.
And Sean said it there at the end of his statement, like, hey, the fans are important. The season ticket holders are vital to this. Like, he understands. He's there every single day, every single game Greg Penner is a part of, whether it's a home or away game. Greg Penner's out there, again, all the time that he can be with just his team in general. The fans are seeing Greg Penner. Like, he's around, so he understands. My man's not dumb.
Oh, come on.
Like, he understands how much this means to the state of Colorado.
And he's not, and I have to say this too, and I know oftentimes the way that I come across, it sounds like I'm like shilling for Greg Penner. I am incredibly thankful that they're the owners of the Denver Broncos.
They might be, sliding you a couple bills under the table.
I can promise you that's
you
not happening.
You didn't go for a handshake today, and then you came back, you had something in your hand. What do you have in your hand?
We have no affiliation with the Broncos or any of the teams that allows us to just tell the unapologetic truth, and I love that about 104.3 The Fan. The Broncos in general, and I said this earlier, this city, this state, this region really lucked out with this ownership group.
Yes.
Everything's first class. And if there was an owner that would try to navigate it in the most sensitive way possible to the community, who, again, is hyper aware of Greg's level of wealth, Greg and Carrie's level of wealth, it would be Greg. So we'll see. Let's see how they maneuver and navigate the sticky wicket in 2026 that is personal seat license. All right. Just had to finish that up.
Yeah.
Promise.
Take a deep breath.
Our biggest takeaway. Our biggest takeaway from practice is coming up next.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery and Monarch Construction and Roofing. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
At Progressive, we know making a difference starts with making things happen. That's why we're partnering with organizations in your community to make change happen. By helping veterans get the reliable transportation they need, helping small businesses with everyday challenges, and providing aspiring homeowners with the educational resources to help them get into their first home. It's just another way we continue to innovate. Because you can't spell progressive without progress. Visit progressive.com/purpose to learn more. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
You worked hard for your money. It's time your money worked harder for you. Open a 7-month CD from Wings Credit Union and earn a guaranteed 4.4% annual percentage yield with just a $500 minimum deposit. It's one of our best rates of the year, but like all good things, it won't stick around forever. Get started today at wingsco.com/CD special. Let's figure it out together. Rate accurate as of July 31st, 2026 and subject to change without notice. Subject to eligibility. Insured by NCUA.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name. And the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
You know your age, your weight, your income, and probably even the mileage on your car. But what's your testosterone level, and is that level normal for your age? If you don't know the answer, Low T Center can help, and we'll do it for free. Come take a free testosterone test and find out if Low T Center can help invigorate your life like it has for thousands of other men in your area. Go to fixmylowt.com and book an appointment online for your free T-test today.
Colorado, it's time to take our recycling to the next level. That's why Recyclon Colorado is bringing you more curbside and drop-off service from peaks to prairies. Guidelines as clear as our skies, so you know what goes where. And the price? As free as gawking at bighorns on I-70. You deserve a recycling system you can count on, like your puffiest winter coat. And we're here to give it to you. Learn more at recyclon.org/Colorado.
Bluebird Windows and Doors has been servicing Colorado's Front Range for over a decade with products built for Colorado's ever-changing climate. Get windows, doors, and siding manufactured to last a lifetime, backed by strong warranties. Buy more, save more this August. When you mention you heard about Bluebird from me, Mike Evans, you'll save an additional 5%. With all the Bluebird days in Colorado, enjoy it while looking through beautiful, energy-efficient windows from Bluebird. Financing options available. Visit gobluebirdco.com. Bluebird Windows and Doors. Make today a Bluebird day.
Dan Jacobs with Jacobs Law on 303 Law 4040. Here's a story my lovely wife Kimberly was particularly proud of. Jeffrey, a listener just like you, called 303 Law 4040 and said he was T-boned by a driver running a red light and rammed his car right into a tree. When the cops came, the other driver lied and the police believed him. They said Jeffrey was at fault. Now, with the big made-for-TV lawyers, that's where the case would normally end. Many of them won't even touch a case if they actually have to work to prove it. But Jeffrey insisted he was innocent. He worked with us together on our team to find the witnesses and the evidence to get the ticket overturned and the insurance company's denial reversed. At 303 Law 4040, we aren't a big settlement mill like the made-for-TV lawyers. Each client meets with me and my lovely wife Kimberly in person, and you get our cell phone numbers. If you've been injured in an accident, you know the number, 303 Law 4040. Go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303 Law 4040.
Hey guys, boy Stink here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. If you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if he can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house all cash and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Attention Ram owners. Did you know you could get $500 for Recall 67A without leaving your driveway? With new mobile appointments, we'll come to you. We'll finish the simple software update in under an hour, and it won't affect your truck's performance. Plus, you'll get an extended warranty worth thousands. Make a power move. Schedule Recall 67A today at CumminsRecall.com.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Aero Seal Colorado.
It's Training Camp 2026, Unfinished Business. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, powered by Aero Seal Colorado.
All right, rolling downhill here on a Tuesday. Shifting gears back to football. And there's so many questions about the personal seat license. We'll get back to it a little bit later. I know
I feel like it's new to a lot of people. I mean, I'm learning a lot by just like us talking about talking through things. The first time is going to happen to a lot of these fans here in Denver. You know, at least when it comes to like having to fork up some money just to buy the season tickets. And there's a lot of people actually, Z, you know this, that come to our shows, you know, when we're on the road, and they're season ticket holders.
Right.
And they don't even know about it.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Dante, you got something there behind the glass?
Yeah, good text here from the 2323. Zach, my guy, been a while. I'm proud to say I've completed Firefighter Academy and can listen to the show again. Can't wait to catch up on camp and the rest of the team. Go Broncos, Mikey in Denver.
That is awesome. Love that. Congrats on being a fireman. And, man, I have so much respect for our first responders. I mean, when people are running out fearing for their lives, they're running in. And that statement will always be powerful to me. So, yeah, our first responders, our firefighters, our EMTs, our police force out there, we hope you stay safe.
Yeah.
Okay, your biggest takeaway from Broncos practice today was what?
My biggest takeaway is the injury bug is still latching on to some of these players, and particularly it's the center position, Z. And I know somebody out there, well, it's the center position. You need the center. The center is the quarterback's eyes. He's the one relaying the message to the offensive line, hey, we're getting ready to shift, or we're going to down block, or let's mic, instead of 52, let's mic 48 because we know the safety's coming off the edge. Like certain things like that to help your quarterback out, to take pressure off your quarterback. We know Luke Wattenberg has been dealing with the injury. It seems like it's his elbow. Now, it seems like he is getting better. He has his pads on. He's doing a lot more movement of hitting the bags, so at some point he will be back. All right, Alex Forsythe hasn't been around. He's been banged up as well. So that's the second. That's the backup center. All right, so now you got to go to the third string center. All right, Michael Dieter.
Yep.
And actually,
Michael Dieter.
He was my former teammate when I was with the Miami Dolphins. He was there before I was. He was drafted by the Miami Dolphins in the third round.
Yeah, he was a 78th overall pick.
And everybody loved him. He was fiery. He was young at the time. And they were like, hey, he's going to be a damn good player as he gets older. Never stuck around. And that usually happens sometimes when you just don't find your home or you're not consistent enough. So he was a journeyman that found his way here to Denver, was doing well. And then he gets hurt. And not only does he get hurt, ZB, but they have to cart him off today when Greg Penner was having his interview with everybody. And so now you're down to the fourth string center if you do decide to go with the fourth string center. That's a lot of pressure to put on someone like Bo Nix if Bo Nix is going to go into that first preseason game without his number one center, the number two center, hell, even the number three center. Now you're down to your fourth string center,
right.
And Quinn Miners is taking snaps.
I could not believe that today.
Come on.
I mean, guys, we're looking out there. I'm like, 77. Wait, that's
a new player.
That's Quinn Miners. So the Broncos' first team All-Pro guard was taking snaps at center today. That's where we're at with the health of the center position. Here was Miners when asked if he can play center if needed.
I sharpen that tool every single year just in case. I gotta have it in the back pocket. I know that it's important to add that value to the offensive line room. That in an emergency situation, even last year against the Chargers at the end of the year, I was technically one snap away from having to go in and play some center. So I always keep that tool sharpened in case I have to. I learned the offense consistently from a center's perspective. I think as a guard, if you can understand our scheme from a center's perspective, it'll allow you to identify the defense quicker. Or, if a new center comes in, a younger guy or someone that's played guard and play center, I can help them identify the mic and stuff like that. So it's a tool I constantly keep sharpened just in case it gets needed. And I hope I don't have to use that tool, but if I do, I'm ready.
That's great that he can play center. Yeah. You do not want your first team all-pro guard playing center.
And he doesn't want to either. He's like, hey,
no.
look, man, let's just keep that tool in the bag. Right? I just want to play the guard position and call it a day. But you know what? He may have to if they call upon him to do that. If not, I mean, they're gonna call in somebody else, maybe a vet off the streets, on their couch to help out for a little while. Like I said earlier, Luke Wattenberg is coming back at some point. He does look like he's getting healthier. I don't believe he's gonna play in this first preseason game. So that's the question now, Z. The question to me is gonna be, who is playing in this first preseason game? Are the starters? Is Bo Nix? Okay, we know that 2 receivers, Marvin Mims, Jalen Waddle, they haven't been out there. They're not playing. All right, now you're down to your 4th string center. Do you play Bo Nix? Right, that's the question now that maybe somebody's going to ask tomorrow.
Yeah, and that will be worthy of being asked. Yeah, not great.
Not great, Bob.
Not great. And if Wattenberg, even if he started practicing tomorrow, if he's been out this whole time, I just doubt he's going to play. I doubt Alex Forsythe is going to play. Michael Dieter could be done for the year. I'm sure we'll get that news here a little bit later today. Did he break an ankle? Was it an Achilles? Like, we don't know. But yeah, that does weigh into the calculus, of okay, like who plays, who doesn't. Man, that's not good. That's not good. And Sean didn't seem too worried about it.
He doesn't seem too worried about any of these injuries. He comes down and says, he'll be fine. Well, every time Sean says somebody will be fine, they end up not practicing for a couple days, 2-3 days, or even a week.
Yeah, that's been true so far this camp. Yeah, this is what he said earlier today about the amount of new injuries.
Work through it. We have guys that are flexible. We'll be fine.
Any chance Miners could play center?
We'll see. I think we have enough options.
All right.
Get fed up with it.
Well, the first stringer's down, the second stringer's down, the third stringer just got hurt with a serious injury, and your guard is playing center. And so, man,
here we go.
They're going through it. I mean,
we
continue to say that. So in review, Mims was in uniform but really didn't practice.
Yeah, he was on the side field, still doing his workouts. Did not practice with the team. When team came rolling around, had his helmet off.
Wattenberg, we just established your starting center. He didn't practice. Wide receiver Jalen Waddle, still not practicing. Alex Forsythe, the backup center, not practicing. Michael Bandy, not practicing. Caleb Lohner, not practicing. Who else am I missing here?
J.K. was out there. He was doing individual drills, but he did not participate in any type of team periods. He was sitting there watching practice. So, and J.K. was very vocal, saying that he's healthy, but yet you're not out there, during the team period, taking that one handoff you've been doing for the whole camp.
Yeah, and he did, just to touch on what you were just referencing, J.K. was on the sideline, and we heard this from Kevin Kistner, that he was calling out, I'm healthy, like even though he's not practicing, J.K. is a trip. J.K. Dobbins is a trip.
But does he need to keep that to himself? Wait, like why? Why do you feel like you have to say that?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to stay positive and stuff, and he is like a super positive person, or tries to be. But yeah, probably right now from a vocal standpoint, like probably less is more. Just show us with your actions. But we'll see. All right, that's that on the injury front. There is a positional group on the Denver Broncos, and really a person specifically that we were assumed to have some kind of revival this year. We're not seeing any semblance of that. I want to talk about that. Plus, Greg Penner did talk about the new stadium, all right, some of the hiccups. Is he frustrated? We'll hear from Greg Penner, all right, and we'll also hear from Sean Payton, because we are on the doorstep of 40 consecutive minutes of commercial-free sports talk coming up next.
Catch up on everything happening at DenverSports.com. Weeknights from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. with Denver Sports Tonight. Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan. DenverSports.com and the Denver Sports app.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. On behalf of my friends at American Financing, what if next month looked different? What if instead of robbing Peter to pay Paul, you had one clear payment and money left over for the things that actually matter? If you're a homeowner, that's not a fantasy. American Financing is making it happen. They're not going to judge you. They're here to help you. Everything is more expensive right now, and you're spending more on the basics than ever before. American Financing's salary-based mortgage consultants will give your paycheck a raise by lowering your debt obligations. Their average customer savings is $800 a month, and you may delay 2 mortgage payments, and you may close in as fast as 10 days. Guys, there's no upfront fees. There's no obligation. We all want to live without stress. Your home's equity could help you do this. So call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, it's Phillip Lindsay here. Do you need a new roof, gutters, or exterior needs? Monarch is your one-stop shop, backed by 16 years of experience and over 10,000 satisfied customers. Their in-house insurance team fights for you, and their white glove service means every detail is handled with care. Competitive pricing, award-winning craftsmanship, and the only roofer the Denver Broncos chose to endorse. A proud member of Team Dave Logan, make the call to your home team, Monarch Construction and Roofing, the official roofer of the Denver Broncos.
Hey, Rob Biandino here at BeatTheDA.com. I've handled about 7,000 cases, over 300 trials. Man, I see so many bad stops on these DUIs, unlawful arrests, the police putting body cams off. The evidence is sketchy. We got to go get the evidence. We go find those cameras, the stores, the ATMs, the banks. We got the experts to challenge their breath tests, their blood tests. My office has over 100 years experience at this stuff. Hit me up at BeatTheDA.com or 720-706-5151.
Hey, Denver, Zach here. Need foundation repair, waterproofing, crawl space repair, egress windows, or concrete work? Trust Homestrong to get it done. They can even turn your crawl space into a finished basement in weeks. Visit BuildHomestrong.com. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
Hi, I'm Donnie, owner of Fitness Gallery, where we believe there's nothing more important than your health. We can't stop time, but we can make your day more efficient, and we can help you get fit and stay fit.
Hey, Broncos country, I'm Terrell Davis. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer. Work out on your schedule from the privacy of your own home.
At Fitness Gallery, we have the nation's lowest prices on the highest quality products that stand the test of time.
Imagine this: no more wasting time in traffic, no more crowded gyms. And here's the touchdown play: get your family involved. Your health is your ultimate MVP, and I know staying fit is not always easy. Whether it's Rod, Carl, or myself, we shop at Fitness Gallery, and you should too. With the right equipment at home, you can train like a pro whenever it suits you. You never regret buying quality. Fitness Gallery sells commercial-grade equipment for the home. It's simply the best.
Invest in your health and happiness with Fitness Gallery. Visit one of our 7 store locations for a free home gym layout and design today.
Summers are made for time on your deck. Right now, when you purchase a new deck from 5280 Exteriors during August, you'll get free solar railing lights, no payments, and no interest until 2027 for qualified buyers. A 2-time President's Club winner, 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
At Applied Future Technologies, they use AI and automation to solve real business problems. How much time does your team lose to repetitive tasks, manual data entry, and searching through information? They build practical solutions around your organization's unique needs. Tools that organize and analyze information, streamline work workflows, reduce backlogs, and support faster decisions. Give your team more time to focus on what matters most. Discover what Applied Future Technologies can automate for you at appliedfuture.com.
Experience the new $3 Pepper Jack Steak Burrito in Decadent Melty or Crisp Fresca. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary, tax extra.
It's Training Camp 2026, Unfinished Business. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, powered by AeroSeal Colorado.
All right, rolling downhill here on a Tuesday. And I got to read you one text. You guys are drama queens.
Oh,
it's preseason. These are injuries. The coach says they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Leave it at that.
Do you always do what your coach says to do?
Oh, my God. Too funny. Yeah, no, I mean, look, Bud, the starting center for the Broncos isn't healthy.
Hasn't been healthy the whole camp.
Correct. The backup center for the Denver Broncos isn't healthy. The third string center just blew something out and was carted off the field, and they're now having Quinn Miners play center. It's just not ideal. That's what we're saying. It's not ideal. All these injuries, not ideal. Sean Payton, the head coach that you're referencing, just said yesterday, we need to get a hold on this. So, yeah, like, if you don't think these injuries are worth discussing, I mean, shoot, we waited months and months to see what Jalen Waddle would look like. He got hurt immediately. We haven't seen him in a while.
That's what I'm saying. We've been talking about Marvin Mims, and maybe is he a trade candidate, and maybe, does he make the team? I mean, he's been doing well, but now he's dealing with something. He's the deep ball guy. Cortland Sutton was dealing with something, and now he's back, and he looks really, really good. Pat Bryant has been so available, it's not even funny. He's been the most consistent guy out there, not just receiver, guy out there.
Yeah.
Troy Franklin seems to be healthy, but you need your guys around Z. And when we're watching these practices without Waddle, without Mims, you start to look at who's being put out there, and it's like, what number is that, 30? What number is that, 32 as a receiver playing with Bo? That's never a good sign when you have a number 30 jersey that's not Terrell Davis or your boy Phil, and it's a receiver.
Playing receiver with a 30 on. Yeah.
With Bo. Like, no, that's not good.
Yeah. Let's give a shout-out to someone who made a big-time play today. A 6'1", 185-pound rookie receiver out of northern Arizona, all right, Colby Katzis. Keep your eye on number 81 out there this weekend on Friday, because he's probably going to play a decent amount.
Yeah.
And there is something to this young man. Now, doesn't mean he's going to make the team. In fact, I can tell you right now, he's not going to make the team. All right, but keep your eye on him. I remember last year looking at Kyrese Rowan, who they just brought back here recently, and making plays and like being like a training camp darling. Colby Katzis, again, there's something to that young man.
He made the play of the day, actually.
He did.
With Sam Ehlinger throwing him the ball. Beautiful throw. Throw of the day as well by Sam Ehlinger to Katzis for a touchdown in a gotta-have-it situation, and everybody erupts and everybody is happy for him, even the defense.
Yeah.
Like, you love to see that. And for Katzis, yes, he's probably not going to make the team, but he's a guy that's going to be out there throughout the preseason, the 3 preseason games. He's going to have a chance to make this team with all the receivers going down. And if Katzis can do a good job at punt returns, my man is fast as lightning, and he's doing a good job of catching these punts. With Bandy not being there, Katzis is the next man up, so he's going to get a lot of reps in the special teams. He's going to get a lot of reps as a receiver, and can he take advantage of these opportunities given to him? Because I always say this, it's not just about the Denver Broncos. He may not make the Denver Broncos, but there's 31 other teams out there that need a receiver, a backup receiver, or even a practice squad player.
What other positives today before we turn the coin over and talk about a position that is just lackluster right now? What other positives from today? Do you see?
Coleman.
Yeah,
Jonah Coleman, ZB. He's looking really, really good, and I love that he's getting more comfortable running in between the tackles. And it's like, man, I can't wait to see what this man looks like against the Falcons on Friday. He's running hard. He's reading the holes right. He's being patient. There was a couple runs today where he was very patient, even in the screen game. All right, where he's coming out of the backfield, he's patient, he's setting up his blocks. That's how you have explosive plays. And then he's catching out of the backfield. Or he has soft hands. He looks like he has really soft hands. And what does that look like against the Falcons? We're fixing to find out. But he's looking really good. He's looking confident, understanding his blocking scheme, understanding who he needs to pick up in blitz pickup. So it's good to see that, knowing that like something could happen to J.K. Dobbins, and J.K. Dobbins didn't go today, Z.
Right. That was good to see. Good report there on Jonah Coleman. All right. While Dobbins hopefully gets healthy here sooner than later. Other positives, we saw Ini Wazirike. Again, much like Q Robinson, much like Pat Bryant, Wazirike is flashing on a day-to-day basis here, and he's been sort of the talk among the Broncos. Quinn Miners referenced, Nick Benito referenced that today. They're like, man, everyone is talking about Ini. Who they call Ini Wazirike. So that's good that we're seeing that sustained flash, not just a one-time flash.
Pat Bryant again scored a touchdown.
Pat Bryant again. I mean, it's he's replaced one-a-day Vele. I mean, he is just that one-a-day vitamin every single day. Who else there? Q Robinson got to the quarterback again.
Yeah. Like we're consistently talking about Big Q Robinson, and he's another guy that once he gets out there and if he can make some plays, all right, he's definitely going to be on the Denver Broncos head coach's minds, right? It's like the coaching staff's minds of like, we got to get this guy in there. And the unknown of Jonathan Cooper, and if he gets a suspension this year, you got to have that depth. All right, Jonah Ellis, Q Robinson, and Q Robinson has done a great job during camp. And notice I said great. He has, man. He's been very consistent, getting to the quarterback, stopping the run. Like, he has taken that big-time jump. Last year, he played in 6 games, and it seemed like every game he got better, had a half a sack, got into the postseason against the Patriots in the NFC Championship, had a sack. All right, so it's like, okay, he is getting better. And then he went into camp, and since day one, we have talked about Q Robinson in a great manner of like, hey, man, he is making those plays, and he's continuing to do that. Now you got to do it out there on the football field with the bullets flying, live action, and you got to go get a sack.
Yeah, and Benito said that as well. Like, hey, this guy's making plays every day. Now we just got to see him do it when the lights are on. And he'll get his opportunity on Friday night. Keep trying to emphasize number 51, all right, from Birmingham, Alabama, played at Alabama, 4th-round pick, traits that you cannot teach. But he was more prospect than player. But we're seeing a player really rise up here right before our eyes. Let's see if it translates on Friday in Atlanta. On the more wanting more side of things or negative side of things, man, I don't know what's going on with Evan Ingram. I don't. This guy has been quiet as a church mouse here since they put the pads on.
Yeah.
That's not to say he hasn't had a single catch, but guys, they are rare, few and far between. And today, now the ball was a bit behind him from Bo, but the ball went right through his hands, in a play that like you should make, even though it was just a little bit late. And really, even beyond Evan Ingram, the tight end position, we're just not seeing that position being utilized. And we had a thought process coming in to this camp like, hey, with Davis Webb, he's going to open up the middle of the field. We're going to see a revival in the Broncos experience when it comes to Evan Ingram. Maybe we'll see, Joe Lee going down the field. But like we haven't seen this position. And if I were to guess, and I hope I'm wrong, but my eyes are telling me that it's not going to be too much different year over year with that room.
See, why would it be if you're not working on it during practices? You can't just turn it on in the game and say, hey, we're going to do something we haven't done before, and we're going to throw you the ball 4 times. If you're Evan Ingram, like you have to earn the reps. You have to earn the right to catch that damn ball from Bo Nix. And how do you do that? The separation over and over during practices. That's what Pat Bryant is doing. And that's why for Bo, he's getting comfortable and familiar with Pat Bryant. And if you ever notice, if Waddle's not in the game and Court's not in the game and it's Troy and Pat, who is Bo going to? He's going to
Pat.
go to Pat Bryant. Why?
Yep.
Because he knows Pat's going to be consistent. He knows he's going to be there on time, and he can trust him. Well, I can't say the same for Evan Ingram right now.
No.
There's times where Evan Ingram will get the separation, and Bo's not even looking at him. Why is that?
We saw that today.
Bo's not trusting Evan Ingram enough to say, I'm holding onto the ball, and I'm going to stay in the pocket long enough for you to get the separation. He's not trusting that. And he's going straight to who? Patty Ice. If Pat Bryant's out there, Cortland Sutton, or Jalen Waddle if he's available.
Yeah, and it's just the reality of the situation that we're witnessing on a day-to-day basis. Now, that could change. That could change. Maybe he lights up the preseason games. Maybe it stays this way, and when the lights come on in week number 1, he goes for 70 yards on 5 catches. But with the information that we have now, and we will react accordingly should that unfold that way. But with the information that I have right now, I'm not seeing any meaningful difference year over year. I would not have any a meaningful different expectation year over year. And if I were to guess, again, with the info that I have right now, I would say the Denver Broncos are going to be one of the more lackluster tight end rooms in the entire league as they were a year ago.
But that can't happen, Z. You need some type of performance from that tight end room and not just blocking. We know Adam Trotman's going to be that type of guy.
Yes.
And actually, Adam Trotman may be more involved in the pass game this year because when he does go out there and run around, he catches the ball. Now, he's not exciting. He's not flashy, but he'll get the job done. You're looking for Evan Ingram to be that guy that can open it up vertically. And that hasn't been the case consistently enough, ZB. And that's what I'm looking for. The tight end position must do a good job this year because you're hoping that you can end up doing play action with them. You're hoping that you can get some of that outside zone going. The running backs start to have success, and then all of a sudden fake the outside zone play action, and now the tight end's just running butt naked wide open for a 15-yard gain. In order to do that, you have to build it in practices, build that trust. And it doesn't seem like that's happening, man. And it's not just with Evan Ingram. Adam Trotman, I don't see him out there getting active. Justin Jolie is another one where it's like I want to see more of him getting vertical, and that hasn't happened as much as I wanted to see from him with the threes.
Couple catches here and there, but nothing really downfield with any of the tight ends. And yeah, it is what it is. I mean, if I had to guess right now, 8 months in advance, I would say the Denver Broncos are going tight end in the first round of the 2027 NFL draft.
And you said that, Z. We were just sitting there watching practice, and you said that out of nowhere. And I said, dang, I didn't even think about it like that, but you're right. Like, if the tight end position cannot get something going this year, I mean, we need a tight end. All right, the successful teams have a tight end, have a run game, and, of course, you have a receiver and a quarterback.
Yeah, but it's 2026. I mean, and you're seeing NFL offenses, and this is a larger conversation for a different day, but we are seeing a trend in the NFL right now where they're going heavier personnel. You're not seeing as many 3 wide receiver sets. You're seeing 2 tight ends on the field so often of the time. You're seeing added offensive linemen, up on the line of scrimmage. So that is the current trend. And, okay, we'll just see how the Broncos can sort of coach up the position and continue to develop the position, mainly with Jolie, I'm thinking of when I say that. But here was Bo when it comes to Ingram. This was Bo Nix yesterday talking about Evan Ingram.
His ability to strengthen the run game are what sort of showing right now. He's a willing blocker, and I think last year we used him a little bit more as a vertical pass threat, but I think him getting in the box and blocking is going to open some more things up. And that's a game plan thing. That's a coaching thing, put him in that position. But I also think he's willing and able, and I think that's part of his game that he's going to really be able to show off this year and not, be on and off the field. He'll just be able to play. He and Trout, they'll be able to roll and just be able to do anything that we ask him to do from that position. But as a vertical passing threat, he's one of the best in the league. He's been that for a while, and I still think he's still in his prime. He's still ready, and he's still athletic and does all the things.
Why are you looking at me? Why are you so quiet, ZB?
We love Bo, but holy smokes,
let's Bo.
Holy smokes, that nose grew. I mean, holy smokes. And I know he's trying to hold it down, right? He's trying to support his guy. But this idea that Evan Ingram is now a blocker.
A willing blocker.
And you're not going to be able to tell whether it's a pass play. And in year 10 for Ingram, he's going to turn into this blocker that, has to be, no.
My man.
Stop.
We're watching practice every single day. They have a specific period for just running is called inside drill. The tight end is attached to the inside drill, and there is a lot of times where Evan Ingram is getting pushed back. That right there tells you everything you need to know. There's been times where Evan Ingram has to be a lead blocker as a fullback and whiffs on the block. I'd be pissed off if I was a running back and Evan Ingram's in front of me. Now, I'm not trying to push my man's head down. He is in year 10. For him, he's a primary catching tight end.
He doesn't even work with the tight ends when they break down into positional groups.
He doesn't. So it's he doesn't do a great job of blocking. And if you need somebody to go in there and block, it's going to be Adam Trotman yet again, Z.
Definitely.
We all know that.
Yeah. And again, I didn't wake up this morning and be like, hey, how can we dump on Evan Ingram today? It's just not working out. The team asked him to take a pay cut during the offseason. You put that out there.
They did.
And you said multiple conversations about that. And my guess is, and this is real. My guess is, had he taken that pay cut, he'd probably get cut.
That's why they wanted him to take the pay cut. And if you're a smart agent, which I know his agent is, it's like, why would you do that? Why are you going to set your guy up for failure? Like, if you're going to cut a guy, you're going to cut him, but you're going to give him all that money that you promised him. We're not going to take a pay cut because you guys don't like what you see out there. That was your fault for giving him that money. That was your fault for getting upset and calling somebody to say, hey, come back. Because remember, Evan Ingram left, went to the Chargers.
Yep.
You had a call with him saying, come back to the facility. We want to get something done. You get something done. You call him your joker. And it's just, it seems like it's a joke right now.
Yeah, it's
joke's on you.
And it's trending in even worse direction, if we're just being real. And he's not getting any younger either. And this idea that in year 10 he's going to become no.
He's not.
No. So hopefully he's able to find something in a handful of games and can help the Broncos win a game or two the way that he did against the Philadelphia Eagles, I think it was last year when he scored his only touchdown. But, it just doesn't look good. I think the Broncos are going tight end in the first round. It's a way too early statement, but here on a Tuesday, if I were to predict that is exactly what's going to happen.
ZB, and even when they played the Eagles, if you remember, Sean and Evan Ingram got into it.
That's right. They were upset. That's when Sean Payton said, I'm a big body language guy.
Body language.
And he was frustrated. And Evan Ingram was frustrated after the season on the locker room cleanout day when he basically put it on the Broncos coaching staff.
And I'll tell you what, Sean wasn't too happy about that, Z. He was not too happy about Evan Ingram going out there and putting some of the things out there about how the pretty much the coaching staff didn't help him out. That's what it seemed like, right? He was a victim. Sean didn't like that.
All right. This is KKFN. And KKFN, HD1 Longmont, Denver, and KARS-FM Laramie.
The 5 o'clock whistle, powered by Smart Local Union 9 sheet metal workers. Smart Local 9, where pride meets your future.
We are coming with it, and we are coming for it. It's Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, and we are The Drive, powered by Regen RX.
Woo! Put me in the game, coach. I'll block for you. Give me $2.5 million, or maybe 5.5. Then I'll buy a plot of land and then ask Greg Penner if he wants that plot of land, and then, go ahead and say it's going to be worth $55 million. So if you want this land, you got to give me $55 million.
And if you don't understand the reference point that Phil just mentioned, this is nuts. So, SRM Concrete, we got the news yesterday. They sold the largest parcel of land to the Denver Broncos for $55 million. What we didn't know at this time yesterday is that plot of land was bought 4 years ago for $5.5 million. That is 10x in 4 years.
Dang.
$5.5 million 4 years ago. Broncos just bought it from SRM Concrete for $55 million. Phil, it's 10 acres total. Let me give you a comparison. It's 10 acres, $55 million. The whole CDOT plot, the Colorado Department of Transportation, the whole CDOT plot sold for $45 million. So $10 million less for 58 acres.
Dang.
SRM had 10 acres and sold it for $55 million.
That's great business right there.
Is wild. That is wild. Wow.
You think that's why it took so long? It's because it's like,
100%.
you want us to give you $55 million, maybe it was more. We don't know. You want us to give you $55 million when it's 10 acres?
Right. I mean, dude, and if it was another company that wasn't SRM Concrete, or if it was just an individual, maybe the Broncos could really do a hard negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
But SRM Concrete, that's $1 billion company. That they are not a little guy. So they could get in the trenches and probably hire some lawyers and do the whole negotiation, and like, we know exactly how much this plot of land is worth to you. 4 years ago this wasn't relevant. Bought this thing for 5.5. Well, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Ooh-wee.
Today's price is 10 times what we paid.
Today's price is $55 million.
That is wow. What a return on investment there. We did hear from Greg Penner today. He hosted a smallish press conference inside the new facility. All right. Right out of the gate, his thoughts about extending Sean Payton. This is what the owner said.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really pleased with what he's built here. The culture, the performance on the field, enabled us to line up he and George's contracts now. George has done a fantastic job building this roster. The two of them work together, so I think it positions us, in this time where we've got a roster and we've got continuity at the leadership level, so we can go after it year after year.
We have continuity at the leadership level, and now we can go after it year after year. If you take a step back, and I know we're so close to the situation that it can still feel new.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sean Payton can still feel kind of new going into year 4, Bo going into year 3, Greg Penner and Kerry Penner going into year 4, I think. But if you take a step back and look at how much change there's been around the National Football League, whether you're talking about quarterbacks, coaches, general managers, even ownership in the case of Seattle and a couple other places in recent years, the Broncos have amongst the most continuity, maybe the most continuity of any team in the NFL. Same ownership, years over years. Same coach, years over years. Same quarterback, years over years. Same general manager, years over years. Like this group.
Same offensive line. Like, it's like the same players as well, ZB. It's the running back Broncos. Like, everything seems to just be the same. And that's that continuity. That's just the chemistry and everybody doing their part, and Greg Penner liking what he's seeing from everybody, knowing that everybody has a role and they're starring in that damn role.
Yeah. Here's a little bit more from Greg Penner. What will define success? I asked him this question. I said, are you willing to say out loud what would define success for the 2026 Denver Broncos? And this is what he said.
I think that's a hard question. I mean, because you get to binary answers, but our goal is to compete for championships every year. If we put ourselves in that position, I think we're going to be successful and we're going to win Super Bowls.
Our goal is to be contending for championships every year. And if we do that, we're going to win Super Bowls with an S on the end of it. And I love now he didn't come out and say, and he's not going to say it's Super Bowl or bust. You're not going to hear the owner of the team say that. But that's the second cousin of that.
That's Jerry Jones. He'll say something like that.
Right. But Greg's saying our goal is to compete for championships every year. If we do that, we're going to win Super Bowls. I have to say, boy, oh boy, does that energy that you heard in that response, how different is that energy from what we heard from Josh Kroenke just a couple months ago after the Denver Nuggets season when he was given a layup, an alley-oop rather. It's right at you don't even have to dribble it. Just catch it, dunk it. And of what the goal of the rest of the Nikola Jokic era was, and a couple years ago, it was championships.
Yep.
It was, we have an obligation to Jokic, and now it's to win as many games as possible. And it's just like, dude, how do you mess that question up? I like Greg Penner's response a lot more.
Well, because Greg Penner loves what he's seeing from his team, but loves what he's seeing from George and Sean. He has the confidence in them. That's why he extended both of them. That's why he's hoping that he can extend someone like Bo Nix next season. Like, everything that you have to be successful, the Denver Broncos have. The ownership group, the general manager, the head coach, the quarterback, and the players around him that all do their part, star in their role, like I said earlier. So for Greg Penner, it's like, why would this change? All right, I'm holding everybody to a high standard. Everybody is going to be held accountable for what they're going to do. That's why Greg Penner is probably sitting there in the coach's offices, right? His office is next to Sean for a reason. He wants everybody to see his face so that they know that, hey, He's going to hold me accountable. He's going to make sure I'm doing the right things. He's going to make sure we don't fail and that we do have success. Now, that's not going to always lead to a Super Bowl.
Right.
But you're hoping that it leads to having a chance.
Right.
That you're in the AFC Championship more times than not with the chance to win, and you hope that Bo Nix is healthy this year and this time. But in order to do that, everybody has to be on the same page.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for you do the right process over and over and over and over again at every level of an organization, and you're winning on the margins, right, in addition to like the guys on the field in the way that they have since they took over. It's only a matter of time before you catch the dividend that you're looking for. And look, Broncos country has already begun to reap the benefits of this ownership group. And I know I've said this before, but you can draw in line with a Sharpie, okay, the Denver Broncos before Pat Bowlen bought the team, okay, and not that there weren't some good years. You think of their first Super Bowl appearance, I think it was 77 against Dallas, stuff like that. But like from the time Mr. Bowlen bought the team to the time that he got sick was nothing but flourishing success.
Yeah,
they never had back-to-back losing seasons. How does that happen? How do you appear in more Super Bowls than you have losing seasons over a near 30-year period or near 40-year period? Like, that's not a coincidence. And then he gets sick. The team's being ran by a trust. The Broncos fall on their darkest days in their NFL, history. You have to go back to the 60s to find a comp like we saw from 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Damn.
And then you draw another Sharpie when the Penners take over and have the financial bandwidth to pay Sean Payton nearly $20 million a year, to pay some of these homegrown players instead of letting them leave, and securing the roster and
securing the general manager spot.
Yes,
you like what he does with Sean and works with Sean, and actually probably works well with you as well.
And at the end of this press conference today, Patrick Smythe, a PR guru, said, "Hey, we got two more questions. We got Susie and then Zach." Okay, boom, boom, finished the presser, and it wasn't me. Another Zach, but Jeff Legwold piped up at the end. He's like, "Hey, how closely did you watch Sean and George work together before making decisions?" And he said, "Very closely." And that's how the press conference ended. And so Greg's got his finger on the pulse of these situations. And I know you referenced it in passing a couple minutes ago, but my biggest takeaway from the facility tour last weekend is that Greg's Penner's office is not on the executive floor. With Carey, with Damani Leach, the team president, his office is on the football floor. And so it's good. It's all really, really good.
Yeah, Greg is a culture builder, just like Sean and
Sure.
just like George, right? Something that like you would hope like Josh says he is, but it's like, dude, like, for Kroenke, it's like you got to show it with your actions
that's
over
right.
and over and over.
Yes.
I don't want to take a shot at Josh Kroenke because he did bring us a championship. But like what Greg Penner is doing, he's there every single day. He's in that building. He's on that football field every single day.
Yeah.
All right. He's worried about the stadium, the facility, but yet he's in the building every day with the coaching staff, with the players, knowing their names, talking with us.
Yeah.
Like he's doing everything.
That's action.
That's
action. Right, and I don't want to get too bogged down with
for sure.
the Nuggets, but
it pisses me off.
No, well, I have to piggyback on what you're saying. I, to this day, here on August 11th, cannot believe that Josh Kroenke said into a microphone, "I'm the cultural CEO," and in the same self-contained response, talked about how he's learned from the best leaders that culture has to be developed and managed on a day-to-day basis. And it's a living, breathing organism, the culture of the organization, and it's got to be managed on the daily. And you're the cultural CEO, but you don't even make it to half of the games.
You're not there.
I could not believe the lack of awareness that went into that response. I mean, truly, it's bothersome because this is a really important era of Nuggets basketball with the greatest player they've ever had. And, man, I'll tell you, man, and like, if a team like I don't even want to get too far down the rabbit hole.
We got all day, baby.
We're
going to do a 7-hour show.
All right, back because I'm going to get distracted and we're going to lose.
Well, wait, you're going to say something before we go on. We got time.
No, I was going to say that, like, I've said this about Josh Allen, that if Josh Allen ever wins a Super Bowl, he will be doing it in spite of the organization that he plays for. So despite me pulling for the Bills, I have clear eyes. That is a bad organization.
Yeah.
They're just historically bad. Bills, Bengals, Browns, Cardinals. There's a handful of them that once in a while they get lucky, right? You get Joe Burrow, you get Josh Allen, right? But like, I believe that if Josh Allen were in this Broncos situation, he was a quarterback for the Denver Broncos, I think it'd be multiple Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Because the current Broncos do everything the right way.
Yeah.
And the Bills are the Bills. And so I look at the situation with the Nuggets, and I wonder what the Denver Nuggets situation would be if they were being run by the Walton Penner family ownership group. What would that look like? What would that feel like? And the fact that they're related is just trippy, right? It's just trippy.
It is.
But like, it's just one of those things. I'm like, oh, what would that look like? And the ultimate one is, what if the Rockies were being ran by the Penners?
I was getting ready to say that, like with the Rockies.
And so the
Rockies are looking better, right? Competent, competitive. They're looking better. But what would that look like with Greg Penner and the ownership group always around them?
Come on.
With that money.
Come on.
Shohei's over here with the Rockies. I'm just saying.
Well, Greg was asked, why did you buy 40% of the baseball team? This is what he said.
Kerry and I had a chance to get to know the Montforts in the 4 or 5 years we've been here, and really it came about a series of breakfasts that I'd have with Dick every probably 2 or 3 times a year, and I think they were ready to bring on a partner, and we couldn't be more excited about doing something here in the Denver market, and grown up baseball fans as well, and as you know, it's a terrific fan base, ballpark, and we're really pleased to join the ownership group there.
Do they have plans to be the majority owners of the Rockies at a certain point in time?
Right now, we're just focused on being supportive minority partners, and Montforts are in full control, and we're going to do what we can to support them.
For now.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
That's just because there's so much going on, right, for Penner. It's like, hey, we got the facility we just bought or just built.
Mm-hmm.
We got the stadium going up, and we have to figure out, the preferred site. We got to make it the for sure site. We got our team, our football team that's in the mix that could get to a Super Bowl this year. But once everything has kind of established itself, I wonder if Greg Penner's going to circle back and say, hey, Dick Montfort, let me go ahead and give you, give me 11%. Now I have 51% of it. It's mine now. Something like that, Z. I can see it coming.
Man, that would be a special day in Denver sports. That would be a special day.
Do you think that's coming at some point? It could be years from now, but like at some point.
I think at some point, many years from now, it will happen. I think it's got a better chance of happening sooner than later if during this CBA coming up, if they put a salary cap on baseball. I have heard whispers that now I know it's counterintuitive, and I know we've touched on this before. It's counterintuitive because their wealth is so incredible that if they were in that baseball environment where there is no limit on spending, that they could thrive. That's not what they're interested in. They're not interested in some financial pissing contest with the Dodgers or anybody else for that matter. If they put a cap on the sport the way that hockey has, or football is a little bit more flexible, we know, but if some version of that in baseball, when you're not deferring $1 billion in salary for the Dodgers, and you're not 12xing a team's payroll in your own division, if it gets to more of a playing field where the teams are shooting at similar baskets, they want more involvement in that scenario. So that's what I'm rooting for.
So the CBA, man, that's gonna be the deciding factor on if Greg and Kerry decide that they want more.
Yes,
they want more.
And obviously, like, we're Rockies fans. I'm a big Rockies fan. I've never tapped out on the team. They've given me reason to. I just never have. I've never stopped going to the games. I've never done a boycott. All that stuff. I asked for change. They did it.
Yep.
They're more competent than they were a year ago. They're on pace for the largest year-over-year turnaround in team history. I know the depths that they're coming from. We all know the context.
Don't tell Will that, Z.
But if this ownership group with the Denver Broncos started running the Rockies, it's Rockies to the moon. To the moon.
This is a baseball state.
It is.
You've been there when there's some success.
It was awesome.
I'm telling you. Rocktober again.
I'll tell you, it's the prospect of it is really exciting, but we're going to have to be patient, I think, on that front. He's got a bunch of irons in the fire and different things, so we'll have to be patient on that. He was asked what were his focuses when planning the new stadium, and this is what Greg Penner said earlier today.
That was a big part of it. two things that Carrie and I were really focused on is three things. One, we want to be able to enjoy the outdoor Colorado weather. Two, we want to be able to grow grass. And then three, as we were thinking about a retractable roof, we want the skydivers to be able to land.
We want the skydivers to be able to land.
Shout out skydivers. I'm thinking of you guys.
Are you kidding me? Three things we're focused on initially. Colorado weather, right? Because there's this idea that, if they do a dome or retractable roof, these are beautiful. Like, they know that. They we've heard whispers that when they go retractable roof, that they're only going to close it for extreme weather, like we saw in the AFC Championship game. Most days it's going to be open, even when it's on the colder side, or even when there's snow falling. They're not just going to they're not going to treat it like a sunroof.
Because what I heard with retractable roofs, it takes a long time for it to actually close. So you have to make the deciding decision a day before or 2 days before you actually do it. Now, I don't know now. I do know with the Colts that's how it was, because they did it to us.
Bro, Greg's going to be flipping that switch at halftime. It's a little chilly in here. I don't like it.
Flip the switch.
But Colorado weather, a top priority.
Yeah.
The ability to grow grass, which is a hot button topic right now in the NFL, especially post World Cup.
And fans, the players love it. The fans should love it too, but the players would love that. And if you're trying to recruit a player, let's just say George Kittle wants to come here, right? He's going to look at the grass as he gets older and say, okay, I want to come here. You got grass? Oh, yeah. That's unheard of now.
Well, and it's just safer, right?
It is safer.
And we know that. And then the third thing, retractable roof. So pretty cool. Here's a little bit more from Greg Penner. Hey, have you purchased that land from Colorado Department of Transportation?
We're in, there's a two-step process there, but that's all it's all done. So there's no questions or issues with that getting complete.
All right, so that's out of the way. How about working with Denver Water?
Denver Water serves obviously a critical function for the city, and so it's important that their operations are seamless and uninterrupted. And anytime you're moving operations and moving to several locations, it's complex, and so we've got we're doing everything we can to support them so that we can make that move, help them make that move on a timely basis.
I think that right now, after even with the concrete company selling yesterday to the Broncos, I think that's probably the biggest hurdle still left in their way. Are they going to put Denver Water's emergency center in the parking lot M of the Broncos' current stadium site? Can they resolve that with the consultants that are now representing the community? And can they all just get on the same page, get this puppy to the point where the city council, who is representing those people, feel comfortable enough to say, okay, we're ready to let this thing pass? You
think that's the biggest thing right now that's stopping?
I think so.
This stadium from being built by 2031.
Yeah. And I think there's other small fires happening, but I think that's probably the largest one that hasn't been put out yet. And I did ask Greg Penner, I said, hey, the Denver Post about 2 months ago used the analogy of a Rube Goldberg, that complicated, system where one thing has to happen before another thing can happen. And it's the entire sequence of events that make up a Rube Goldberg. Was that a fair analogy of what still needs to happen here with the stadium to keep on the 2031 deadline? And is the 2031 deadline in jeopardy? And we'll play Greg Penner's response to that question coming up next.
Want real Broncos talk? Cecil Lammey and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue Today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue Today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
You know your age, your weight, your income, and probably even the mileage on your car. But what's your testosterone level, and is that level normal for your age? If you don't know the answer, Low T Center can help, and we'll do it for free. Come take a free testosterone test and find out if Low T Center can help invigorate your life like it has for thousands of other men in your area. Go to fixmylowt.com and book an appointment online for your free T-test today.
Skip this year's front porch roofing circus and bring in the local professionals.
Visit us at DenverRoofPros.com.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros. Hey!
In Colorado, relationships matter. That's why contractors across the Front Range choose Western Pacific for doors and millwork. 35 years of quality products, next-day delivery, and fast will call service. Visit GoWestPack.com. Western Pacific, local ownership, professional expertise.
If you're stuck in rush hour traffic, you have options. Contact Arby's and Arby's today to get $1 fries and sliders between 2 and 6 p.m. Get $1 fries and sliders between 2 and 6 p.m. with any regularly priced food item only at participating Arby's.
Arby's, we have the meat.
Jane is a small business owner. Tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
The Total Solutions Advantage. No one does business like Comcast Business.
The more solutions you add, the more you save. Get started today with a qualifying internet package for as low as $60 a month when you add an advanced solution. Plus, new customers, ask how to get up to $1,500 in prepaid cards when you add 2 lines of mobile to a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, tax, and fees extra. Prepaid card offers end 9/13/2026.
You know that feeling, sitting at the kitchen table, staring at a stack of bills, wondering how you got here? Credit cards, car payments, subscriptions you forgot about. It all piles up. But here's the thing. If you own a home, you're sitting on the answer. American Financing can help you declutter your monthly bills into a single manageable payment. Their salary-based mortgage consultants look at your entire financial picture, not just one piece, all right? The average customer savings is $800 a month. You may delay 2 mortgage payments and may close in as fast as 10 days. Guys, there is never any upfront fees or obligation with American Financing. This is a family-owned lender, not one of those big banks where you're just a number. So pick up the phone and start that conversation at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or simply visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
What's up, everybody? Phillip Lindsay here. Reclaim your freedom to move, explore, and live life on your own terms. If degenerative joints are trapping you in pain, Regen RX's natural stem cell or PRP therapy sets you free, using your body's own natural ability to heal. Regain the freedom you've been missing. Get your totally free consultation today and see if it's the right move for you. Give my friends at RegenRx a call today at 303-630-9770 or visit them at regenrx.co. That's regenrx.co and let them know that Phillip Lindsay sent you.
At Applied Future Technologies, they use AI and automation to solve real business problems. How much time does your team lose to repetitive tasks, manual data entry, and searching through information? They build practical solutions around your organization's unique needs. Tools that organize and analyze information, streamline workflows, reduce backlogs, and support faster decisions. Give your team more time to focus on what matters most. Discover what Applied Future Technologies can automate for you at appliedfuture.com.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, Dr. Joseph Ramos is both a doctor and a lawyer, combining legal and medical expertise. He can help. Ramos Law, the official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. RamosLaw.com.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
It's Training Camp 2026, Unfinished Business. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay, powered by AeroSeal Colorado.
Bottom of hour number 4. Talking about Greg Penner.
Mr. Penner, step up. Step into my office.
The owner of the Denver Broncos and the part owner, of course, along with Carrie. And I try to say them together, but sometimes I just say Greg Penner because he's like the acting owner. But whenever I say Greg Penner, I'm talking about Greg and Carrie Penner.
Yeah, because Carrie's out there too. Carrie Penner's out there
almost
all the
every
time.
day.
You know, side by side with Greg. And my guessing is Carrie has been through everything with Greg when it comes to the facility, when it comes to the stadium. She's right there, right? She's a bright mind and doing a lot of work as well.
Yep.
You know that.
Yep, of course. So I asked Greg Penner, hey, was the Rube Goldberg analogy fair that the Denver Post used about 2 months ago in terms of the complexity of it? Also, you know, Councilwoman Torres, who represents the districts that make up the current stadium site and the new stadium site.
She joined our show.
She did. She came on the show, and she said the complexity of this is hitting everyone in the face. And that was about 7-8 weeks ago. And I said, is it also is the 2031 deadline based on those comments and based on the analogy that the Post used? 1, is that analogy fair? And 2, is the 2031 deadline in jeopardy? This is what Greg Penner said.
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy, and I think everybody involved in the process has the intent to do the right thing, is trying to do the right thing, but it's a lot of moving pieces and it is complex. Our focus is squarely on the 2031 opening and trying to get that done, but it's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy. You
that
know,
right there, Z, that's like a mic drop moment in a way of like, is this going to get done then in 2031? If you having Greg Penner, the owner, saying, hey, it's not going to be easy.
And that analogy is fair.
And it's fair. It's like, okay, the question now becomes, if you don't get it done in 2031, and I'm asking you, Z, like you're Greg Penner, if you don't get it done in 2031, are you willing to bite the bullet and wait a little bit longer into maybe 2032, and are you okay with that after having a deadline? What are you thinking?
I wish I could ask him that. I wish I could ask him that in a private moment, you know, after over a beer, because he's not going to answer that in a public forum like this.
You paying for that beer, or are you going to have him pay for it?
I'll pay for it.
Okay.
I'll pay for it.
You don't have to ask that.
I think ultimately, and I am speculating, okay? I'm speculating. If the Rube Goldberg analogy is fair, and the Post said 2 months ago they had about 2 months to stay in accordance with the 2031 deadline, okay? And he is doing this today, and we're not, yes, there's stuff happening. SRM Concrete sold and CDOT sold, but like once all this happens, the environmentalists need to come in and clean, and construction just in general, not specific to this situation, but construction in general, 2 out of 3 times is running behind, not ahead. I I would guess two things. I would guess the 2031 timeline doesn't happen. And again, I can't emphasize this enough. I'm speculating, but I'm doing so with the evidence that I have.
Yeah.
And the more that was gathered today. I'm guessing the 2031 deadline does not happen.
You better not say Lone Tree.
But I think the importance of keeping the stadium in Denver and the movement that will still take place, just not at the same pace, it will be pushed back a year. Something like 2032.
So they're going to keep it there, though. You feel, we're speculating.
Yes.
You feel that Greg Penner, Kerry Penner are going to say, hey, look, we're willing to just, be patient because we want to keep it in the heart of Denver. We want it here at Burnham Yard. We don't want it to just be the preferred site. We want it to be the official site, and we're willing to wait a tad bit longer, even though we had a deadline.
Right.
And you've talked about billionaires and deadlines, Z.
Yeah, and I could be wrong with my speculation because typically billionaires, when they make a deadline, it's the deadline.
I'm looking at one right now.
Right? What?
You're a billionaire, baby.
Oh yeah. So at the end of the day, though, I think that the strides that they'll make by the time to make that decision with the Burnham Yard and the importance to the Penners to keep the stadium in Denver, ultimately, and it may be painful a little bit, that importance and that growth in all the departments that you need to build a stadium, that will supersede the importance of the 2031 deadline. That's my guess. That's my guess.
So no World Cup, though.
No Women's World Cup in 2031.
Because you do think that it's not going to be, the deadline's not going to not happen. You think
I don't think so.
2032, 2033, 32?
Again, because 2032. Because this was a post writer on the business side, not the sports side, and said they have 2 months to 60 days. They said 60 days to keep in accordance with the 2031 deadline. 60 days, it's up. And we're still having these conversations. So if that timeline was legitimate, and I believe that it was, and we're still sort of waiting for these fires to get put out, we've heard some frustration. It was just 2 weeks ago that the Broncos team president said it's fair to characterize the situation as frustrating oftentimes. That was 14 days ago. So again, based on all this information, I think that it's fair to speculate. And by the way, I hope I'm wrong. I want the 2031 Women's World Cup coming to Denver. Are you kidding me? But just with the information I have, I'm now looking at it with more like speculation that they're going to get this done within the allotment of time that they framed for themselves.
And it seems like Greg Penner seems the same way, thinking the same way. Like they want to get it done. They want to get it done 2031. But it's a lot of work.
But it's going to be hard, he said.
It's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard. Okay. All right. Here is a little bit more from Greg Penner. My follow-up, has the process at Burnham Yard been more frustrating than anticipated? This is what Greg Penner said.
I don't know that it's been more frustrating than I thought. I think, we went into this knowing if you're going to do a project of this scale, and we knew, when we started focusing on this site specifically, that it was going to be more challenging, but we also, really want to stay in Denver if we can and deliver a stadium in this, in this market that is a vital part of the downtown. But if you're doing a project in an area like that, it's just harder. So I think we went in with our eyes wide open about the challenges, and we'll keep working.
All right. I think Greg is trying to walk a razor's edge about not saying too much. About the frustration, but I can promise you, this has been more frustrating from a Broncos perspective than they anticipated. And even if they went in with eyes wide open, and as he said, and I'm not calling him a liar, he's got to play a game here a little bit.
For sure.
And you're the Broncos, owner, and you're speaking into microphones in a press conference. And I had to ask him the question because I asked Amani 2 weeks ago, and he said, yes, that's fair to characterize, frustrating. Was it more frustrating? He said, but he kind of sat up in his chair as he started,
Yeah, kind of like moving around a little bit. Like, you don't want to say it. Go ahead, Greg, say it.
If he was given some truth serum, the answer would be, it has been.
What scares me is, like, he says, I want to stay in Denver if we can.
If we can.
If we can. It's not like, hey, I want to stay in Denver. We're going to do it. It's if we can, because he's saying the ball is not on my side of the court. It's on theirs.
Yep.
It's their time to shine. They have to do their part. I've done my part. I want to be here. If we can do it, we'll be here.
All right.
Scary.
Whew. Big conversation.
Big boy conversation.
And that's not even the personal seat license conversation.
Oh.
And that did come up earlier today. We'll play his response for you next.
It's Training Camp 2026, Unfinished Business. Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth will kick things off starting at 6 a.m., powered by Applied Future Technologies. Then Dover and Cecil will react live to all the action until 2 p.m. thanks to Denver Roof Pros and Beyond Dino Law Firm. At 2, The Drive will recap the day thanks to AeroSeal Colorado. Stay locked into Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan and DenverSports.com for all the latest news and information during football season. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
This August, take advantage of the Honda Summer Event at Schomp Honda and get behind the wheel of the all-new 2026 Honda Passport. That's what I drive, and it is fantastic. Built for Colorado adventures and everyday confidence, Passport is ready for mountain getaways, weekend road trips, and your daily commute. At Schomp Honda, buying is simple with their one price, one person, 1 hour philosophy, giving you a clear, upfront price, one dedicated advisor, and a fast, hassle-free buying experience. Plus, Schomp Honda never charges dealer handling fees.
Phillip Lindsay here. Do you need a new roof, gutters, or exterior needs? Monarch is your one-stop shop, backed by 16 years of experience and over 10,000 satisfied customers. Their in-house insurance team fights for you, and their white glove service means every detail is handled with care. Competitive pricing, award-winning craftsmanship, and the only roofer the Denver Broncos chose to endorse. A proud member of Team Dave Logan, make the call to your home team, Monarch Construction and Roofing, the official roofer of the Denver Broncos.
I'm Rob Wilhite, and for nearly 50 years, my firm has been fighting for seriously injured car accident victims in Colorado. Serious accidents demand serious representation. We dig into every detail of your case, and we don't back down until we get you the maximum compensation you deserve. If you or someone you love has been seriously injured in a car accident, call the Wilhite Law Firm today at 303-GOOD-LAW or visit wilhitewins.com. That's 303-GOOD-LAW or visit wilhitewins.com.
Hi, this is Larry Jagger with SCL Mortgage, letting you know about our second mortgages for anything you need, including home improvements, paying off debt, and more. Visit us at myspecialmortgage.com or call 303-790-2222, NMLS number 1200716.
Colorado's turning 150 years old this month, but if your windows are failing, that could be costing you money on energy bills. Intense summer heat can cause failed seals, drafts, and condensation. Gravina's Window Center of Littleton can help. Gravina's Window Center of Littleton brings over 50 years of expertise. Save 25% on Infinity by Marvin Windows. Call Gravina's Window Center of Littleton today, or visit them at windowsforyourhome.com. That's windowsforyourhome.com.
Common Spirit Health has expert orthopedic care that gets you back at it and back to your best.
Find skilled orthopedic physicians at Common Spirit locations who specialize in general orthopedics and repair of hips, knees, shoulders, and hands, so you can return to running races or chasing the grandkids. Common Spirit Health. Hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advance healthcare in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Orthopedic care with human kindness is here. Visit mountain.commonspirit.org.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach By here. If your home's hot upstairs and cold downstairs, that's more than annoying. It's a sign your system's leaking air and wasting money. And with utility bills climbing, energy efficiency matters. That's why homeowners trust AeroSeal Colorado. Their innovative sealing technology boosts comfort, cuts energy use, and even gives you cleaner indoor air as a nice bonus. Customers love it. A 4.9 Google rating, and some folks practically write books after the job's done. AeroSealColorado.com fixes what others can't even find. AeroSeal. Comfort sealed.
If you're considering sedation dentistry and want to learn more about it, Clarkson Dental can help. When it comes to your health, you want to make sure you know all the details. The highly trained professionals at Clarkson Dental have your answers. Learn more at coloradosedation.com.
It's Training Camp 2026. Unfinished business. Here's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay. Powered by AeroSeal Colorado.
All right, interesting day as we're on the verge of wrapping up here and stepping aside for Denver Sports tonight. Interesting day with Greg Penner, Broncos owner.
Yep.
All right, giving a rare press conference. We hear from ownership maybe 2 to 3 times a year. Last year, I think it was 2 times, end-of-season presser and owners' meetings. That's it. Now, speaking today. And it was interesting because you would think if Greg was going to speak, it would have been at the start of camp. But what was going on at the start of camp?
Jay Coop, that situation with Jonathan Cooper, and nobody wants to deal with that at that point, right? Even now, nobody wants to deal with that. If you're Greg Penner, you definitely don't want to deal with that, especially with a bunch of people criticizing what you decide to do at that moment.
Yeah, and I'm also wondering if SRM Concrete didn't sell their parcel of land to the Broncos yesterday, if Greg would have been speaking today. Yeah, I don't know. And because this wasn't some big announced press conference, that wasn't the mass email that often gets delivered. Hey, Broncos media advisory press conference in the atrium tomorrow, 11 o'clock, Broncos owner. Like, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was more, honestly, kind of
quiet.
I don't know how to say it. Yeah, it was
undercover. Only a few people, were asked to join. Kind of not necessarily asked, but hey, we're brought to awareness of this getting ready to happen during the practice.
Yeah, right. And that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Guys, the press conference was during practice. So these media members had to make a decision, am I staying and watching practice or am I going to the Broncos owners press conference, which, is not too hard of a, but anyway, spoke today and you knew the topic of PSLs were going to come up. Personal seat license, okay? And Greg Penner, he answered the question like this.
It's the furthest thing from our minds right now. It's just we're so focused on, we've got so many steps before that. As I just mentioned, it's still a preferred site, but it's not finalized that we're going to be in that location. Obviously, that's where we really want to be. So really, we haven't even got the PSLs yet. Our season ticket holders are vital to our organization, and we're going to keep them informed every step of the way once we get there.
All right. I think 2 things can be true at the same time. Thing 1, that's true. That is the right response. It would be putting the cart way ahead of the horse.
Yeah.
If you confirmed or denied personal seat license before your stadium has shed the tag of preferred site. We haven't even seen renderings. So Greg Penner was never going to come out today and confirm or deny personal seat license. That's the first thing that's true. The second thing that's true is personal seat license are coming to Denver.
So you do believe that?
Oh, Phil, we started talking about this over a year ago. Over a year ago, we started having these conversations.
So do you think he already knows this? Greg Penner, we're talking about
1,000%.
He just doesn't want to share that information with us.
1,000%. So
get ready, guys. Get ready to pay the money to pay for your seat, right? So you're going to get your seat, and then you still got to pay for the tickets.
That's right. That's right. And so I know it makes a lot of people uncomfortable, and rightfully so. Like if that doesn't process the right way or hit your ears the right way, I get it. I mean, it is a total sign of the times. Personal seat license, paying for the seat in order for the right to pay for season tickets. Now, it's a one-time fee, all right? You can sell your seats in time if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of the situation, and a lot of our listeners know this, some don't. It's going to price out, I would say probably thousands of people, I would guess. Because what happens is, say, because Broncos season tickets are in families, right? There's thousands of people in line for these tickets.
Yeah.
So when you have these season tickets, you keep them in your family, you pass them down to your kids. But what also happens with that? Through the years, your seats can get better. As people give up their seats and you have season tickets, you're able to change sections. You're able to move closer if people in front of you. So there's thousands of people that sit in the 100 level who tickets have been in their family forever. But because your seats are so good and they're sweet, the sweet like SWEET, not like sweet, that you're going to pay the highest amount.
Which could be, Z, what would that be? I know you would be spitballing, but you had a buddy that just did this, right?
Yes, I got a hold of the Bills chart where every section of the Bills' new stadium that's about to open up, every section was color-coded. And then in the bottom, left corner of the diagram, there was a key. And whatever, color your section is, that's what price your tickets are. So the better the seat, the more money it is. So, for instance, my buddy Glenn, back in Western New York, he has 2 seats, okay? 2 seats. And they're good seats. They're like 20 rows up from the 40-yard line.
So that was the guy heckling me, huh? Talking about my mama, huh?
It might have been. It might have been.
Tell him to sleep with one eye open.
Real talk, it might have been. But because his seats are great and he's on the 40-yard line and he's 20 rows up, it was $8,000 each ticket. So that you have to write a check for $16,000 in order for the right to pay the season ticket cost. So I know, and I was just with a woman on Saturday that her and her husband have seats. They've had seats forever. The seats have gotten better over the decades. She's in her late 50s to early 60s. And, she already told me, she said, I know we're out. We're out.
Did she know about the PSL?
She did.
Okay, so she did.
She did.
Right.
And she's like, when this happens, when this new stadium opens, if they think I'm going to write a check, $10,000 for each ticket, and then still pay for my season tickets, like, you're nuts. I can't do it. It's not a matter of wanting to. It's like, I'm not selling our second car to keep our tickets, And there are Broncos season ticket holders, and I hear from them that this idea that every Broncos season ticket holder has wealth is not true. There's a lot of Broncos season ticket holders who choose to do the tickets instead of go on vacation.
For sure. Now they're not going to be able to do that, and they're going to have to give up their seats. They're going to have to give up their tickets, which sucks for them. It's going to be good for somebody else that's been waiting in line for them.
Sure.
But also, you're taking away the rowdy fans, the diehard Bronco fans, Z. That's the issue right there. You're taking away that home field advantage of it being so loud you can't hear yourself think.
And I'm hearing Tony Romo in my head right now saying, let me warm up before this test.
I knew you were going to say it.
Wait, hold on. No, it's something different he said. When he said...
it was warming up.
It shouldn't be funny, but it's hilarious. Like getting the glutes to fire and stuff before you do the DWI test.
I'm hearing Tony Romo right now.
Oh, but I'm hearing Romo in my head saying this is the loudest stadium we've been to all season long. And could that change in time? It could. So we'll see. It's a big boy conversation that's layered and has a lot of opposing viewpoints on it. There's a wide spectrum of opinions on it. And we're going to continue to have these conversations when they are the most relevant. Okay. Interesting show. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
All right. Tomorrow, Broncos training camp practice, less relevant as they're getting ready for Atlanta. They're
Close
gonna be
to
doing,
the public.
Yeah,
fans can't be out there.
Yep, no longer. It was originally on the schedule, no longer. But we'll be back here at 2 o'clock. All right, we'll see you guys then. It's Denver Sports Tonight coming up next.
You can look all over.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss. Presented by Fitness Gallery and Monarch Construction and Roofing. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's up, everybody? It's Phillip Lindsay here, and football season is back in action. So let me put it to you like this. Every great play starts with preparation. Then you study the film. Then you have to trust the playbook. Then you have to go out there and execute what's being called. Buying jewelry is the same exact thing. This is why I choose Williams Jewelers. They are the playbook. I went in to get my wife a ring for her birthday, and I thought I knew what I wanted. But the Williams family sat me down, showed me their selection, educated me on what makes a stone so special, and I'm talking about the quality I didn't even know to look for. And the price? They guarantee the best price in Colorado. That's no suggestion, that's just a guarantee. I'm a Denver kid, born and raised, so it matters to me that Williams Jewelers is a Denver family, been doing this for decades right here in our city. You're not walking into some random store hoping for the best. You're walking into a place where trust is the foundation. And trust is everything when you're spending that kind of money on jewelry. So there's 2 locations out there to serve you as well. Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue and also in Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Phillip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
You worked hard for your money. It's time your money worked harder for you. Open a 7-month CD from Wings Credit Union and earn a guaranteed 4.4% annual percentage yield with just a $500 minimum deposit. It's one of our best rates of the year, but like all good things, it won't stick around forever. Get started today at wingsco.com/CD special. Let's figure it out together. Rate accurate as of July 31st, 2026 and subject to change without notice. Subject to eligibility. Insured by NCUA.
I started my first business when I was 12, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I learned if you do the job right, people trust you and customers care that you show up and do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts and springs guaranteed to last a lifetime. When you care about the people you serve, you work harder and it shows. Call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com.
When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
A small roof problem today can become a major expense tomorrow. Colorado's hail, wind, and heavy snow can turn a few missing shingles or a small leak into costly water damage, mold, and even a full roof replacement. Don't wait until it's too late. Trust the experts at Colorado's Best Roofing. They provide honest inspections, dependable repairs, and reliable service to keep your home or business protected. Schedule your free roof inspection today. Visit roofingcolorado.com.
Bluebird Windows and Doors has been servicing Colorado's Front Range for over a decade with products built for Colorado's ever-changing climate. Get windows, doors, and siding manufactured to last a lifetime, backed by strong warranties. Buy more, save more this August. When you mention you heard about Bluebird from me, Mike Evans, you'll save an additional 5%. With all the Bluebird days in Colorado, enjoy it while looking through beautiful, energy-efficient windows from Bluebird. Financing options available. Visit gobluebirdco.com. Bluebird Windows and Doors. Make today a Bluebird day.
When disaster hits your home, it's game time. Water in the basement, fire damage, mold creeping in. Don't sit on the sidelines. Call Able. Able Restoration is your first round draft pick for emergency response, mitigation, and full rebuild. We move fast, protect your property, and fight for you with insurance start to finish. This isn't practice. This is your home. And when it's time to step up and protect what matters most, bring Able to the table. Call 303-590-5600. That's 303-590-5600. Go Able. Bring Able to the table.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news